Chapter 101 Once the Martial Arts Master. After the steps, Yi Yuan strolling stepped up and went up. To reach the heart of the water, the illusion of the 9-day road is already in vain for him. He stepped forward step by step, solid and firm, and crossed the entire second stage in an instant. Su Yubai looked at this scene and was sinking. He has already sentenced Yi Yuan to death for the second time. He did not expect Yi Yuan to live again. Not only survived, but also lived more moist. He is not going now, staying is not, standing there is very embarrassing. He was not reconciled to let him go. He did not see Yi Yuan being destroyed by Jutian Road. He went back to sleep. But if he doesn't leave, he has already stepped out of the pavilion. Is it time to go back and sit down and talk about it? He can't afford to lose this person. Su Yubai's face changed a bit, and eventually he went away. The elders actually want to see if Yi Yuan can succeed in the end. This is a historic moment. However, they saw that Su Yubai had left, and naturally it was not good to go back to sit down and had to follow. On the other side, the left did not return to Yi Yuan's solid footsteps, and could not help but swallow. Actually, he can break through in this form on the 9-day road. He really doesn't know how to describe Yi Yuan. At this time, Longtang suddenly turned and prepared to leave, left without a trip, and quickly asked, "Old dragon, you do not watch." Longtang didn't stop, just shook his hand on the left and left. The big picture has been set, there is nothing to look at. I am going to prepare, the next one should be me. After that, Longtang went straight away. The overall situation has been fixed. The left is not repeated, and muttered, he is so sure that Yi Yuan can pass. Even if he has broken through to the vitality, it is still only a matter of vitality. The last 333 steps are the most can a difficult passage pass through a difficult road. Naturally no one answered him, and only he answered Yi Yuan's solid footsteps. Stepping on the 667 steps, the illusion in front of Yi Yuan disappeared instantly, and it turned into the original appearance of Jutian Road, a ladder of heaven. This time, Yi Yuan appeared in front of a green-shirt old man, a kind of kindness, quite high profile. "Youth, you can come here and show that you are a talented person. However, this third level is the most difficult part of the entire 9-day road. Can you be prepared?" The old man saw Yi Yuan and even spoke. He actually had his own consciousness. However, Yi Yuan saw his first sight when he saw the old man, so he was not too alarmed. There was a sigh of thought on the road in the 9 days. Is this 9-day road created by the predecessors? Yi Yuan did not answer the old question, but asked. The old man sees Yi Yuan asking, can't help but be surprised. You can see through my virtual reality. Wonderful and wonderful, look at your bone age, but 15 or 16 years old, there is such a knowledge. However, this 9 turns into a day. It's not the old man's creation, but the creation of my secluded ancestors' ancestors. The old man is just Yangshu's will, and he will voluntarily divide the sacred asterisk into the 9-day road and preside over the third level. The old man in the green shirt smiles, and the color of the longing is obviously admired by this person. Yi Yuan suddenly realized that this is the origin of Jutian Lu, and it turned out that the founder of the Yunyun Zong was created by the ancestors. From this point of view, this secluded horizon must be a stunning person. Others don't understand, but Yi Yuan can see that the 9 turns of the squad to take the number of 99, coincide with the heavens, very human beings can create. And Yi Yuan can still see that the power of these 9 turns of the sky is far more than that. Arranged on this 9-day peak, it is just a simplified version of the big battle. Danwu College is just the outer gate of the Yunyunzong. How can Yunyunzong arrange the full version of the array here? However, even with the simplified version, the 9-turn squad is also a very great formation. I was originally created by the ancestors, no wonder there is such a power. Yi Yuan could not help but admire. Well, you actually realized that your heart is like water. The old man looked at Yi Yuan a little, and he was not surprised. Yi Yuan's peace of mind is like a well-being in the ancient well, apparently comprehending the signs that the heart is like water. The old man voluntarily guards the customs, naturally understands the law quite well, knowing that this second level is integrated into the mood of the heart, but did not expect to be realized by a 15-year-old doll. Yi Yuan smiled a little and said, "The younger generation is lucky." The old man in the green shirt carefully looked at Yi Yuan, and he was quite excited. Good, good, good. It is really a talented person from Zhongshan. God bless me. With such talents, I am a cloud. Zong will be in the middle of the day. I waited for 1,000 years and finally saw hope. Young, tell me your name. Yi Yuan, I do not know the name of the predecessors. Yi Yuan respected. Yi Yuan's heart is still very revered for such a person who was dedicated to Zongmen's development. It is necessary to know that the old man had not had much life at the time, and then he divided the thoughts and presided over the formation of the law, which even damaged Yang Shou. Such a selfless person, what reason does he have to respect? Yi Yuan, yes, good, old man Lu Yan, is the 35th generation of the Yunyanzong martial arts master. The original predecessors were actually martial arts masters, and the younger generations were polite. Yi Yuangong respectfully gave a gift. Haha, get up quickly. I am a dead person. What have you done with me for these vagrants? I have also hosted this method for hundreds of years, and God's thoughts will soon be exhausted. Before dying when you meet such a peerless genius, the old man's death is also eye-catching. Through special means, God can indeed continue for a short period of time, but in the end there is a day of demise. This Lu Yan's thoughts can only support up to 10 years, and then it will completely dissipate in this world. The former strong man was attributed to the dust. This is the desolation of Lu Yan and the bleakness of all the warriors. Even if it is a great god, it is no match for the ravages of time. However, Lu Yan is obviously a kind of open-minded person, and he has already seen the life and death. I have hosted a 9-turn squad for nearly 200 years. The students I met were only a dozen people. Only the boy named Mo Yuntian in the past few years made me feel a bit, but he is also compared with you. More than good. Predecessors praised. Yi Yuan naturally will not be arrogant in front of Lu Yan. Although Lu Yan has only presided over nearly 200 years, the situation of the 9-day road is naturally very clear. Those so-called geniuses are simply not allowed to stand in his eyes. Even the 3 levels are not going to pass, but what about genius? What Yunyanzong needs is not such a genius. What is needed is a genius who can lead the resurrection of the Yunyan dynasty. The meaning of the existence of Judean Road is also here. Although Mo Yuntian has survived the 9-day road, it is only a fluke. The heart is like water, and this 3rd level is the true meaning of Judean Road. Otherwise, why should you sacrifice a Shouyuan of the martial arts master to preside over the formation? Can you promise me one thing? Lu Yan suddenly said. Chapter 102. The array is fully open. As the Lu seniors wanting me to help the Yunyanzong over the other sects. Through the previous dialogue, Yi Yuan naturally knew Lu Yan's thoughts. Haha, you can teach, you really can pass. However, I not only want you to overtake the southern regions, but also hope that you lead the Yunyanzong back to the north. Lu Yan excited. Yi Yuan listened with a bitter smile. Is it too good for Lu's predecessors to see me? I am just a junior. Oh, you don't have to be self-effacing. You can understand your heart is water, your future achievements are limitless. I only hope that when you have enough strength in the future, remember to drink water and think about it. Lu Yan is a dead person, and naturally he will not say anything that is shallow. The request is too much, and Yi Yuan is not likely to agree. Even if you promise, you will not be able to do it in the future. The word, drinking water's source, is just right. It is pointed out that Yi Yuan can have future achievements because of Yunyanzong, and did not put forward any specific requirements. How to do it in the future, everything depends on Yi Yuan himself. If Yi Yuan is an ungrateful person, this is naturally a white saying, but if Yi Yuan is a person who is empathetic and righteous, this is a seed buried in Yi Yuan's heart. Yi Yuanwen said with a smile, predecessors have thought about it. I am a disciple of Yuyun. I have to do something for Zongmen. Lu Yan smiled and nodded, apparently satisfied with Yi Yuan's answer. He does not need Yi Yuan to promise him anything, as long as Yi Yuan remembers that Yunyanzong is good to him. As for whether Yi Yuan can reach that height in the future, Lu Yan has never worried about it. There was no limit to the talents of the year. However, since he realized his heart in the spirit of the spirit, the momentum of the rise was no longer able to stop. Even if Yi Yuan does not reach the limitless height, he has at least enough ability to lead the Union Zong back to the north. The strengths of the two regions are quite different, and the real big gates without borders are basically in the northern region. At that time, Yu Yunzong was also a large area in the northern region. Later, because the green and yellow were not connected, they were annexed by other sects. They almost lost their roots. The high-level Union sect has never given up the goal of returning to the northern region in the past few years. Why is the glory of the 10 countries that are in a barren land, and that the talents are dying, and it is easy to return to the northern region? In the years of the Danwu Academy in the 10 countries of the Union, there are also some people who can pass the 9-day road, but the talents who understand the heart as water are one. Haha, I can hear you, the old man's heart knot has been solved for a long time. Plus the 9-day road of this sect, there are still 10 old people who are as close as the old man, but they are not me. This blessing, I didn't expect to have a year of life, but I can also witness you go through 9 days, and the old man can laugh and end. Lu Yan laughed. Seeing it, Lu Yan is indeed a great satisfaction, and has no interest in life and death. Yi Yuan smiled and said, the predecessors don't have to be so pessimistic, there is no way for people to die. Maybe you still have the chance to see the day when Yu Yunzong returns to the north. Lu Yan smiled and waved. The little doll, I have to comfort my old man. Life and death, the old man has already seen it. Lu Yan thought that Yi Yuan was comforting him, but with Yi Yuan's means, as long as he has enough strength, it is not impossible for Lu Yan to return to life. Yi Yuan did not explain anything. Can he hold on to that day and see Lu Yan's own creation? If there is enough strength in the future, and Lu Yan's thoughts have not dissipated, he will come to help Lu Yan. Well, there is not much nonsense. Although you have realized that the heart is like water, but the third level is still going to pass. The third level of the pivot is my Yunzong town school, Qingyan Ziyang sword. This set of swords, the power of law is absolutely extinct, and you can see how much you can see. I will control the power of the array. If you can't hold it, I will remove the sword and let you pass the third pass directly. Lu Yan said. Zhu Tianlu stood for thousands of years before he waited for a genius who realized his heart is a water-saving realm. Lu Yan did not want Yi Yuan to be killed by the formation, then he played big. After all, Yi Yuankai is very energetic, and it is not very important to grasp the third level. Thank you for your concern, but please don't control the power of the formation. If you don't even dare to marry the 9-day road, what qualifications does the younger generation have to help Zongmin return to the Northland? Yi Yuan refused Lu Yan's kindness. Yi Yuan did not expect that he would receive such preferential treatment, but he thought about it or refused. At the second level, he realized that his heart was like water, but he was curious about this third level. Even if the heart is stopped, it will only be placed in the second level. If the third level is cleared, what kind of benefits will it get? At this time, he will not be a small cloud. There is no limit to the solitude of the world, but I don't know why I have not heard his name in the domain. However, he can understand the heart in the lower bounds, and the sword he left behind is definitely worth seeing. Lu Yan naturally did not know what Yi Yuan thought. He thought that he was arrogant and could not help but persuaded. Yi Yuan, this, Qingyan Ziyang sword, is extraordinary, even for the purpose of assessing genius students. Many Lingjing students have fallen under the sword. Although you have realized the heart of the water, but after all, the strength is still shallow, or think twice. Yi Yuanwen said with a smile, isn't the predecessor just let me know the sword? If you control the power of the sword, how can I deepen my feelings? When I learned a half-hanging, Qingyan Ziyang sword, isn't it a joke? This, Lu Yan was speechless. Yi Yuan said, predecessors, the younger generation knows that you are good for me, but the real strong, and which one is growing up in the greenhouse? Want to achieve a generation of strong people, it is undoubtedly a dream. I want to be quiet. The predecessors of the world, when they were 9 dead, will they have such achievements? Lu Yan listened and couldn't help but sigh and said, it's the old man's appearance. You don't even have a teenage doll that you can see thoroughly. After that, it's also a life, you can do it yourself. Yi Yuan made a sigh of Lu Yan, thank you for your success. After that, Lu Yan's figure disappeared and the formation immediately became murderous. Yi Yuan can feel that this is a real kill. If you don't pay attention, you will die on the spot. At the same time, the back of Judian Road became hazy, and Yi Yuan's figure disappeared into the eyes of everyone. Everyone felt the murder of the 9-day road. Even those who were in the spirits couldn't help but feel numb. Even the outside world feels such a clear killing, not to mention the Yi Yuan in the battle. Everyone's heartstrings are tense, and the original confidence in Yi Yuan has turned into tension at this time. They all know that Yi Yuan is about to face the most terrible one. Can he really pass it? Chapter 103 Sword Meaning vs Sword. What happened? This battle is not right. Hu Yannyang felt the murderousness of the 9-day road and felt a little chilling. If the wind is clear, frowning, how can the third level have such a strong power? Yeah, I was there when Mo Yuntian was on the road for 9 days. The third level did not feel such awkward sword. Is it because Yi Yuan has realized that the heart is like water? Hu Yannyang took a deep breath. The array of the 9-day road is strong when it is strong. Can it be said that Zhu Tian Road's judgment on Yi Yuan has surpassed Mo Yuntian? But he is only awesome. Although he is only awesome, but Mo Yuntian cannot understand the heart is water. It is said that his second level is quite wolf, far from Yi Yuan so easy. There is only such an explanation. I hope that Yi Yuan will not have anything to do. No matter how they guessed, they would not have guessed that this method is so powerful that Yi Yuan himself requested. Let the guards fully launch the array. Yi Yuan is afraid that there is no one before, and no one has come. At the foot of the mountain, many of the students were forced to retreat by the violent swordsmanship. The original full square was actually divided into several levels. The forefront is basically a spiritual environment student. They can also resist the erosion of the sword. There is a large open space behind them. Outside the open space are the students at the prefecture level. Then there are those students who are not good at the periphery. Yi Yuan, who is in the center of the storm, has no signs of discomfort against this violent sword. His hands were behind his back, and the wind blowing from the sword slammed his clothes, and Yi Yuan himself still remained as loose. However, the temperament of Yi Yuan at this time is very different from that of peace. His whole person seems to be turned into a sword, and echoes those violent swords. Well, you even have your own sword. Lu Yan was shocked and heard the voice coming from the void. The younger generation is lucky, and they have realized some swordsmanship. They are far worse than the swordsmanship of the ruthless predecessors. They can only protect themselves. Yi Yuan is just modest. How can his falling flower drifting swords feel worse than the secluded? It's just that Yi Yuan's realm is not high at this time, and he himself intends to converge on the sword to protect the whole body, which is not so ostentatious. But to talk about the realm of the sword, the secluded horizon is only the master of the lower bound. How can it be compared with Yi Yuan? You must know that when Yi Yuan created a falling sword, he even praised the king of the sword. Lu Yan couldn't see the true and false of Yi Yuan, thinking that Yi Yuan's sword was really not strong, but Yi Yuan's enchanting still shocked him. No wonder Yi Yuan dares to let him expand his arrogance, and he has already realized the sword. Okay, in this case, you have to be careful. I want to launch an attack. Lu Yan's voice came. Yi Yuan said faintly. Predecessors let go and attack. After that, Yi Yuan braved the sword of the sky and walked. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Yi Yuan has been marching for 32 steps. The blue swords of the sky have never fallen, but they are accumulating more and more. Obviously, Lu Yan has already pushed these cyan swords to the extreme number, only to wait for the 33rd step to fall. With so many swords falling, the steel has to be cut into mud. These swords and shadows are all formed by the sword, and under the urging of Lu Yan, the lethality is terrible. The former students, including Mo Yuntian, were killed in these swords. The sword shadow that Yi Yuan faced at this time is several times or even dozens of times. Even if a person with a 3rd level of spiritual environment comes, I am afraid I can't say that I can retreat. But Yi Yuan, at this time, like a okay person, did not hesitate to take the 33rd step. As expected, the swords of the sky pierced the leaves like raindrops, and it was necessary to turn the leaves into horses. At this time, Yi Yuan pointed to the sword, pointing to those swords and shadows, and if there were swords and swords, they shot like the swords. The swords that are utterly absent are instantly overwhelmed. Yi Yuan did not seem to give up resistance. The sword pointed a half arc in midair and finally pointed to his right side. The next moment, the incredible scene happened. The sky of the sword rain, even collectively crossed an arc in front of Yi Yuan, flew out to the right side of Yi Yuan, disappeared into the void and disappeared. What, you, how did you do it? Lu Yan's scream came from the void. Yi Yuan smiled and said, predecessors, the younger generation have a little experience in the application of the sword. These swords seem to be infinitely powerful. They are all rootless, not scattered. I am pulling with swords, they will naturally deviate. Track, this is a tricky way to make a lot of money. Hey, slightly, what is the experience? Lu Yan said to herself. This kind of thing is simple to say, but it is extremely difficult to really do it. Don't say, slightly understand, some swords, even if you know the sword, it is very difficult to do this. Lu Yan's life invaded the Qingyan Ziyang sword, and his understanding of Zhanye was very profound. However, if he had to switch to his own words, he might be able to do it, but he would never be able to do so far. Lu Yan knows this. Yi Yuan's slightly understand word, how big is the water? However, Lu Yan also completely let go of his heart, and he can let go of the back of the formation. The stronger the strength of Yi Yuan, the greater the hope that Yu Yunzong will return to the north. In the second 33 steps, the number of swords is reduced to 1,000. This time, Yi Yuan took ***** and then took the sword out. In the third 33rd order, the number of swords is reduced by 10 times again, and the number is only 100. This time, Yi Yuan has a 5 fingers. There are fewer and fewer swords in the Qingyan Ziyang swords, and Yi Yuan's number of fingers is increasing. Obviously, the sword is less, but the power is several times larger than before. The Qing dynasty Ziyang sword is really worthy of the name, but it has such power. My falling flowers and falling swords, attack is not enough, but it is impeccable to defend. Even so, his 100 swords can actually force me 5 fingers, it is great. Yi Yuan also praised in his heart. Blinking eyes, Yi Yuan has come to the last 33 steps. At this time, Yi Yuan only gathered a sword in front. When Yi Yuan saw this sword, his face became more dignified than ever. This sword meaning is the true meaning of Qingyan Ziyang sword. As before, Yi Yuan took a step, and the sword did not start immediately, but gradually became solid. Yi Yuan, be careful. This sword is the pinnacle of the infinite ancestors, and the power is strong. Even if you understand the sword, you should be careful. Lu Yan reminded. Yi Yuan face color dignified. Thank you for reminding seniors, Yi Yuan knows. Before, those swords were full of swords, and this time, Yi Yuan did not even feel the sigh of a sigh. This shows how solid the sword is. When Yi Yuan's footsteps fell on the 99th step of Judian Road, the sword was finally launched. Chapter 104 Fusion Sword. Well, I just felt so strong about the sword. I have nothing now. Is it true that Yi Yuan has been successful? Hu Yanyang suddenly woke up. If it is successful, the Jutian summit will condense a Qinghong road and send him down the mountain. The meaning of the wind is clear. Yi Yuan has not been successful. But, what is this situation? Is it Yi Yuan? Now that I can't see the situation inside the 9-day road, Hu Yanyang is also thinking about it. Don't guess, wait patiently. However, this 9-day road is indeed unusual, and I don't know what Yi Yuan has encountered in it. Beginning with the condensation of the last Qingyan Ziyang sword, Yi Yuan completely converged his sword and closed his eyes. It seems that the resistance has been completely abandoned. Yi Yuan, what are you doing? This sword is unusual, you will die like this. Lu Yan's voice came. Yi Yuan did not pay attention to Lu Yan. In fact, he has now entered the realm of ecstasy and completely closed his 5 senses. In Yi Yuan's world, there is only the terrible sword in front of you. He is savoring the sword meaning of Qingyan Ziyang swordsman. This way, Yi Yuan guided the Qingyan Ziyang swordsman with the sword meaning of falling flowers and zero swords, which is not just a simple way to avoid the sword. Since the original intention of this formation is to let the younger generation learn the sword, then this set of swords will not be based on killing. It's just that the power of this sword is too strong, and the students will not be able to understand it. From countless swords to thousands of ways, to hundreds, 10, and finally ones, the number has decreased, and the power is increasing. It seems that this is the effect of the sword's solidification, but with Yi Yuan's knowledge, it is naturally not so shallow. This last 333 steps, in fact, is a process of deep and profound understanding of the sword meaning. This last sword is the strongest sword left behind without borders. If you sacrifice this last sword directly, it is difficult to understand the sword meaning of Qingyan Ziyang's sword. It can be ingenious that the secluded endless life will be realized in the form of steps, which makes it possible for the relevant people to understand the sword. Of course, the premise is that the passers-by can survive in such awkward swordsmanship. No one can be as good as Yi Yuan, with a mind and a leisurely taste of the sword. Although Zhu Tian road is quite rough, Yi Yuan has to admit that it is a good intention for the younger disciples. Yi Yuan, still not running the sword, seeing that the sword is going to spurt out, Lu Yan's anxious voice came again. The sword has been fully activated, even if he can't stop the sword. Yi Yuan actually removed his sword at the most critical moment, which made him unexpected. Hey! Yi Yuan's footsteps fell on the 99 steps, and the sword was launched. The sword is confined and not sent, but Lu Yan knows the horror of this sword. At this time, Yi Yuan still closed his eyes and did not seem to realize the danger of approaching. Lu Yanyi gritted his teeth and instantly appeared in front of Yi Yuan. A faint illusion reached out and drew a circle in front of him, and a sword condensed out. However, this sword is more like the sword that comes from the blast, like an ant encountering an elephant. The gap is too big. The reason why Lu Yan can condense such a terrible sword is because he started through the formation. Now this sword is sent by himself, and the power is too weak. After all, Lu Yan is just a surviving god. He wants to save Yi Yuan, and his heart is not enough. Thank you for Lu's predecessors, let me come. At this time, Yi Yuan's faint voice rang from the back of Lu Yan. At the same time, a familiar and unfamiliar atmosphere of Lu Yan rises from Yi Yuan. When I couldn't think too much, Lu Yan gave Yi Yuan away. The sword was very fast, and the blink of an eye came to Yi Yuan. However, Lu Yan clearly saw that when the sword came to Yi Yuan's front 10 feet, it was like falling into a mud, and the speed was getting slower and slower. In the end, the sword was stopped 2 feet in front of Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan stretched out a finger and gently went to the tip of the sword, and the sword slammed away. Lu Yan, who was on the side, looked stunned and stunned. He never thought about it. This last level can be like this. It's too ridiculous. He presided over the third round of the 9-day road for nearly 200 years, and the power of the sword was too clear. This is the full opening of the array. If the sword is the weapon of the peak of the spirit, it will not be picked up. It will be dissipated by Yi Yuan. Thank you for the fact that Lu's predecessors had saved themselves. Yi Yuanzheng gave Lu Yan a gift before he pulled his thoughts back into reality. Lu Yan looked at the monster and looked at Yi Yuan in general. He smiled bitterly. I just took it for granted. This last sword will not make any harm to you. Yi Yuan smiled and said, no matter what, Lu's predecessors just ignored their own safety and saved Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan must be in mind. Lu Yan's rescue of Yi Yuan is indeed a multiplier, but he does not know that Yi Yuan can fight the sword. If Lu Yan took the sword just now, it was already scattered. With this heart, it is also worthy of Yi Yuanming. Lu Yan waved his hand and said with emotion, I didn't expect it, I didn't expect it. My Yun Yunzong actually showed you such a talented person, not only comprehending the heart as the water boundary, but also integrating the sword in the third level. After being surprised, Lu Yankai found out why he felt so strange. The breath of Yi Yuan's body exudes the breath of his own sword, and the breath of Qingyan Ziyang swordsman. Yi Yuan, He turned his two completely different swords into one and became his own new sword. This talent, I am afraid that even if there is no return to the future, it is too late. Yi Yuan smiled and said, I am lucky to be a junior, is this a customs clearance? From the moment when the formation was fully opened, Yi Yuan began the idea of integrating the sword of Qingyan Ziyang sword into his own sword. Falling Flowers and Zero Swords is more than enough unless attacked. This is the biggest flaw. The Qingyan Ziyang sword is a sword that is mainly based on killing, and the attack power is very powerful. Moreover, the state of the sword is very high, not in the sword of Yi Yuan, it is very suitable for blending into the Falling Flowers and Falling Swords. This way, Yi Yuan constantly explored the sword meaning of Qingyan Ziyang swordsman, with the sword meaning of Falling Flowers and Zero Swords, and wanted to find a best match point. Finally, at the last moment, I realized it. The fusion of the sword and the previous has been completely out of a grade, so the sword is in front of Yi Yuan's breath, like a baby. The sword's competition is not a competition of strength, but a competition for the understanding of kendo. Otherwise, Yi Yuan has long been smashed into meat. Lu Yan nodded mechanically. Of course it is a customs clearance. Perfect customs clearance. Chapter 105 The First Person of the Millennium. Of course it is customs clearance. If even Yi Yuan is not a customs clearance, then no one can pass the customs. After being surprised, Lu Yan's heart was ecstasy. With such a talented person appearing, can you not return to the Northland? Yi Yuan, your talent is even stronger than the secluded ancestors. I am afraid that the future achievements will not fall below him. I have you in Union Zong, it is a good fortune. Lu Yan said with emotion. Thank you for your compliments. Yi Yuan has never doubted his talent. Before he was born, he just did not put his mind on the martial arts, but the martial arts talent may not be worse than Ji Wei. Xinghong Road. Now, Lu Yan snorted and slammed a sneak peek into the law. Then there was a colorful road in the 9th day of the peak. Yi Yuan, you can now be regarded as the inheritance of the ancestors of the ancestors. I hope that you will not forget the promise of today. I am a dying person, and I can't see the day when Yu Yunzong return to the north. Put Kangwa sword on you, if you really have a day back to the north, I hope you bring it to the north. Of course, if you don't dislike it, you can use it to fight, it can be regarded as the continuation of my life. Let's go. Lu Yan single-handedly, a blue sword flew into the hands of Yi Yuan. When Zhang started, Yi Yuan knew that it was unusual, and it was actually an 8 forbidden weapon. The weapons of the warriors are divided into treasures, instruments, and spirits, which correspond to the warriors of the Yuan dynasty, the spirits of the spirits, and the warriors above the Jingjing. There are no prohibitions on the treasures and the implements, and only the spirits will impose a prohibition to enhance the power. The vast majority of condensed crystal warriors, the weapons in their hands are just instruments, and the 8-band weapons are considered good weapons in the entire Union sect. Obviously, this sword is the lifeline of Lu Yan's life. If Yi Yuan is expected to be good, this sword has accompanied Lu Yan for 200 years in the 9th day of the peak. It is his spiritual sustenance. Although the name is to let Yi Yuan bring the sword back to the north, in fact, the last sentence is the focus, he is giving a sword. Yi Yuan also knows Lu Yan's mind. He also sees that Yi Yuan's future achievements are extraordinary. A small Yun Yunzong may not be able to retain him. It is easy to add icing on the cake, and it is difficult to send charcoal in the snow. He now gives Yi Yuan some small favors, but he hopes that Yi Yuan will not forget the Yun Yunzong in the future. Of course, it only ends here. The footsteps of the strong will not stop because of these things. For the military, Zongmen is important, but the ultimate goal is the avenue. When Yi grew up, how did the little 8 banters get into Yi Yuan's eyes? Yi Yuan took over the Kangwa sword, but his heart was quite emotional. Although this Kangwa sword is not a weapon of the gods, it is of great significance to Lu Yan. He is doing this for the sake of Zongmen. Such people are undoubtedly worthy of respect. When the next leaf is far toward Lu Yan, he said, the predecessors are assured that the younger generation will not let Kangwa be dusty. Lu Yanfu must smile. Haha, I certainly believe that you have this strength. Well, time is almost up, you should go. Yi Yuan respectfully gave a gift, the younger brother said goodbye. A colorful road of sloping down, like a very beautiful rainbow. This is Qinghong Road. Qinghong Road, in the history of the entire Qin dynasty Danwu Academy, has only appeared 5 times. This time, it is the 6th time. Look, it is Qinghong Road, Tianju, Yi Yuan, he really succeeded. The 6-way road to the 6-way road, this guy is terrible. Please, he has already had a good time, right? When he was just getting rid of it, wasn't it 6 powerful? And the first level, he relied on the strength of 6 strengths. It is also said that this guy is not a human being at all. This is fun, and the face of Elder Su was beaten by Yi Yuan. You didn't mention the elders of the Soviet Union. I forgot. Yi Yuan didn't say that he wanted his life within a year. At that time, we just listened as a joke, but now. Ye Yuan's progress is too horrible, and such an enchanting singer should compete with the geniuses of Yuyunzong. Danwu College, I am afraid I can't accommodate him. Yeah, at this speed, he is probably more than 2 or 3 months beyond the Dragon Master. Undoubtedly, Yi Yuanzhen's success in Judian Road caused a huge sensation among the trainees and the trainees. He is the first person in the millennium. From Qinghong Road, Hu Yanyang, Feng Ruqing and Anti took the lead in welcoming them. Ha ha ha, good boy, it really makes me open my eyes. Some people are deliberately trying to murder you, but now they are ruined. Now you have been through the 9 days to see what those people have to say. Hu Yanyang speaks without hesitation. In the presence of so many people, although he does not name his name, anyone who knows that he is talking about Su Yubai. But what he said is also true. Su Yubai's face was really lost. Tossing for a long time, it was a sneak attack in the Presbyterian Church. I did not let a small leaf fair die, but let him pass the 9-day road. After smashing the 9-day road, Yi Yuan is equal to the identity and privilege of the core disciples of the Union sect. Su Yubai wants to kill Yi Yuan, and it is impossible. Yi Yuan, congratulations, you have passed the 9-day road. The wind is still so warm and elegant, just a faint congratulations. Oh, lucky, success. In the face of so many people, Yi Yuan did not want to say anything, just smile. If the wind is clear, the wind looks at Yi Yuan, revealing the complex color. At the beginning, she casually took out a sword and let Yi Yuan stunned. I did not expect such a short time, Yi Yuan pulled the gap so small. Although she is still so much stronger than Yi Yuan, it is sooner or later that Yi Yuan has caught up with it. Well, since Yi Yuan is fine, let's go back and talk. Hu Yanyang said. There are a lot of people here, obviously not a good place to talk. Everyone returned to Yi Yuan's residence, and Yi Yuan first checked a green child. Seeing her was not a big problem, I was relieved. Yi Yuan, you seem to be somewhat different. Or the daughter's home was delicate, and the wind first found the difference between Yi Yuan. She found that Yi Yuan is not only a realm of rapid development, but the temperament of the whole person seems to have changed a lot. Yi Yuan has just merged with the sword, and some of them can't be sentimental. The whole person is standing there, just like a sword with a stock, and there is a big difference between the temperament of the previous one. Yi Yuan smiled and nodded. Oh, let the wind teacher laugh. I have some gains on the 9-day road, but I can't control it now. I didn't expect the wind teacher to see it. Hu Yanyang listened to his tongue and said, others are 9 days old and they are all dead. It is good to survive. You actually have such a big harvest. It's a freak. Listening to the wind and saying so, Hu Yanyang naturally noticed the change of Yi Yuan, and his mouth was stunned, but his heart was very happy. Chapter 106 Good men do not fight with women. I have some understanding. Hu Yan teacher, Feng teacher, these 2 days I want to retreat to consolidate the realm. I will enter the infinite forest after the customs clearance, when the green child will bother to take care of the 2. For the 9 days of the road, Yi Yuan is just a word. He has already issued a vow of heaven, and he will lose more words. Hu Yanyang and Feng Ruoqing also understood the difficulties of Yi Yuan, so they did not mention it. However, Yi Yuan proposed to go to the infinite forest, but it was quite unexpected. It's natural to take care of the green children, but what do you do to the infinite forest? Feng Ruoqing said. Yi Yuandao. Going to find a few herbs. The condition of the green child is not very good. The energy that I transported can only temporarily help her suppress the cold poison. It will be even more terrible when it erupts for a long time. There is a second-order medicine. Hu Han Dan can temporarily control the cold poison of the green child. However, the medicinal materials needed for this medicinal medicine are more partial. I think there is only the infinite forest. If the wind is sunny, I heard the strange saying, there is still such a powerful second-order medicinal medicine. The cold poison of Juin's rupture of the pulse is completely drug-free. This kind of medicinal medicine can control cold poison. Yi Yuan shook his head and said, the master said that there are no real illnesses in the world that are incurable, but they have not found a way. The medicinal herbs are avenues, there are infinite possibilities, and cultivation to the highest realm can turn into decay. Magic, nothing can't. If the wind is clear, it seems to understand what it is. Yi Yuan's words are like a squatting, so that the wind is clear and clear. Although she knows that Dan medicine is profound and profound, her vision is limited, and she can only be immersed in her 1-acre 3-point land. Although Dan Dao and Wu Dao are different systems, one thing is the same, that is, the more you comprehend, the more you will find your ignorance. Over time, this feeling will affect your own state of mind and thus affect cultivation. Yi Yuan's words opened another window to the wind. If I chewed a leaf far, the wind would be sunny and said, make the teacher really a tall man. Yi Yuan boasted with the psychological self-selling of mischief. Yes, the master is unpredictable, I can't see it. It's a pity that he likes to travel around and don't know when he will see him again. If the wind is clear, I can't hear Yi Yuan's self-selling, but I think Yi Yuan takes it for granted. But, the second-order remedy, even if you have the medicinal herbs, can you refine it? The wind is clear and doubtful. Yi Yuan shook his head and said, now it can't be refining. After returning from the infinite forest, I will continue to retreat and attack the spiritual environment with all my strength. As long as it breaks through the spiritual environment, there should be no problem in refining the Han Dan. Refining the second-order medicinal herbs, but the soul of the senior Dan teacher. Yi Yuan's original soul was not enough. He refining the second-order medicinal herbs in the realm of vitality, and he was directly exhausted. Now that Yi Yuan's strength has improved a lot, but the soul power has not grown too much, and it is undoubtedly an idiotic dream to refine the second-order medicinal herbs. However, as long as it breaks into the spiritual environment, Yi Yuan's soul will have a qualitative leap. When he uses his Dan Dao strength, it is not difficult to refine the second-order medicinal herbs. Hu Yanyang exchanged a look with the wind and said, if you do, you will join the other students to participate in the infinite trial. Although the infinite forest is an endless treasure, but there are many dangers inside, there are a lot of high inside. The demon beast is the condensed crystal warrior. If you are not careful, you will be killed in it. You and other students will have a photo. Yi Yuan is curious. Oh, is there any such activity in the college? No, you don't even know if you have no trials. You have the strength of a heavenly student. Yi Yuan was a little embarrassed to touch his nose, a little embarrassed. This is, I used to mix somewhere, hee. For Yi Yuan, the former Yi Yuan did not say that it was a boundless trial. He was not interested in class. How can he inquire about these things? Even if I heard about it, I did not know what to do. The wind turned a blind eye and gave Yi Yuan a popular test. In order to train the students' practical ability, Danwu College will launch an infinite trial every once in a while. Infinite trials need to complete certain tasks, otherwise the college will deduct certain benefits. The task and the level of the student are related. The task that the heaven-level student needs to complete is to turn over 10 second-order monsters and 10 second-order herbs. In addition to the task of surrender, the other seized things belong to the students themselves. Most importantly, the college only specifies the number of tasks, but does not stipulate what means to obtain. Therefore, the infinite trials have become the only place for the students to privately complain. Moreover, there are many infinite forest crises, and many infinite trials have been left there forever. Yi Yuan listened and said, it turned out to be like this. Hu Yan's teacher meant, did you let me join the wind teacher to participate in the infinite trial? Hu Yanyang hasn't talked yet, and the wind has burst into flames. what's wrong? Are you still afraid that I will drag you down? Come here, let's do one now, see who is dragging back. Don't think that if you are lucky enough to break through to the weight of the 9, you can scream with the masters of Wubang. When I spoke, the wind pulled out the sword and swayed in front of Yi Yuan, posing a fight. Good men don't fight with women. I can't say anything, this is what you said. Yi Yuan used his fingertips to open the popular sword, but helpless. What do you mean by that? You say it. The wind pointed the pointed tip to Yi Yuan. Hey, this sword is very sharp. Don't you play it well. I know that you can't do it well. Actually, I can solve your problem. Yi Yuan quickly jumped away, and the girl said that he would do it by hand, or be careful. After listening to Yi Yuan's words, the wind and the face were exposed to complex colors, but they were replaced by reluctance. Hey, who do you think you are? You can solve it if you can solve it. I am telling you now that there is no problem in my body, you don't have to worry about it. After that, the wind smashed the sword and went out. The last time the wind and Yi Yuan used to communicate with each other, so if the wind is sunny, I don't know what happened. I wondered. Yi Yuan, what's wrong with you? Yi Yuan smiled and said, in fact, it is not a big problem, but the style of the wind sister is too reluctant. If this continues, it will definitely cause big problems. Yi Yuan briefly said the problem on the wind, and heard the wind browse. It turned out to be like this. I am so amazing that this girl's talent is amazing. How has it progressed slowly recently? At first I thought she was lazy, but she didn't want to be this reason. Chapter 107 Wan Yuan ran away. But, the practice of Ji-Ru has been finalized, what should I do? Ji-Ru this **** is very strong, knowing that you can't break through in the future, and it will really go wrong after a long time. When it comes to the martial arts road that is popular, it is impossible to calm down this ant. Don't worry, just Yi Yuan is not saying that he has a solution. Hu Yanyang is obviously much calmer than her, and quickly said. Ah, yes, Yi Yuan, what is your solution? As long as I can continue to practice, I can promise you anything. When the words were exported, the wind suddenly cleared and realized that something was wrong. If Yi Yuan has some excessive demands, does she have to agree? I thought about this. The wind and the face of the face could not help but burst into a blush, and quickly turned away from the face. Yi Yuan didn't think so much at first, and he couldn't help but see the blush on the face of the wind. However, he quickly reacted and couldn't help but think of various demands. However, at this time, Hu Yanyang is also on the side, obviously not when the flirtatious, this makes the girl's face more than come. Fortunately, Yi Yuan has now realized that his heart is like water, and it is easy to control his emotions. The wind teacher is not polite. The problem of the wind sister is not difficult to solve, but if I solve it, she would not agree, as long as the fake hand is on you. Yi Yuan waved his hand, a serious way. If the wind sees Yi Yuan, it seems that Yi Yuan did not have any misunderstanding. He could not help but blame himself for not being ashamed. He thought about something, and he was not as honest as a teenager. Of course, there are still some small resentments in the blame. In exchange for other people's words, listening to her words is afraid of long-term thinking, but Yi Yuan seems to be unmoved, which cannot help but let the wind have a doubt on their charm. There is no way, you can say it. Well, in fact, the biggest problem for the wind sister is that the practice of cultivation does not match her physique. The key to solving this problem lies in the 4 words, yin and yang harmony. Yi Yuan said. Yin and yang reconciliation. Feng Ruoqing reminiscent of these 4 words, and shook his head, apparently still do not understand what Yi Yuan is saying. Yi Yuan continued. Because of the practice of the martial arts, the wind sergeant caused the yang in the body to be too strong, which led to her body being very repulsive to Yuan. In such a situation, it is inevitable that it will be worse to continue practicing the original exercises. The way is naturally to rebuild the spurs and choose a method that suits her physique to recultivate. If the wind is clear and frowning, the original method you said is this. Ji-Ru now is the golden age of cultivation. Once the rehearsal is rebuilt, the hard work of these years is completely in vain, and it also delays the practice. Even if I go to say, she can't promise, it hurts her more than killing her. Yi Far nodded, did not care, and said, well, in this case, only another way, but this method will make the Wind Martial Arts Sisters' future martial road more difficult. Of course, once the cultivation is successful, and the strength is far superior to the same ranks. If the wind shines brightly, ask, what is the solution? Give the Wind Sister to choose a feminine attribute. From now on, the two exercises will be practiced at the same time. I just said that the key is the word, yin and yang harmony, as long as the body of her body reaches the yin and yang. The degree of all problems will be solved. Is it possible to do this? It's so good. Feng Ruqing heard great news. It's too early for the Wind Teacher to be happy. How? This method can solve the problem of the Wind Sister, but the requirements for the practice are very high. The two exercises must complement each other and help each other. With this method, the Wind Sister must suspend the cultivation of the current exercises, and then I will practice another skill to the same level as it is now. Hey, even if you follow the qualifications of Feng Shiji, I am afraid that it will take about 1 year. That is to say, within this year, the Wind Sister will not be in the way. Quote, if the wind is clear, he doesn't care. He said, that's no way to do things. It's always better than the loose work. I will go back and help you pick a suitable exercise. After that, the wind turns sunny and turns away. Yi Yuan quickly stopped the road. Slow. Is there anything else? She must be very depressed for this thing these days. I have to hurry to find her. The wind is also eager to burn. Yi Yuan sighed and said, I can't eat hot tofu, this is not a matter of a day or two. You can't help yourself if you go now. But, I am not afraid of the Hurricane Teacher. The selection of this method is very particular. If the method of picking up and the practice of her cultivation cannot be mutually reinforcing, the trouble caused by it will be even more than now. Ah, then, how is that good? The wind was clear and there was no idea. I don't know if the Wind Teacher has a jade slip of the master's practice. This, I have it in my residence, I will give it to you. If the wind hesitated, he said. Yi Yuan obviously wants to see this martial art. This is a taboo for the military. However, if the wind is clear, think about the master behind Yi Yuan, it will be relieved. Yi Yuan's progress is so fast, how can his exercises be lower than the practice of the wind and cultivation? Not only is it not low, but it is more than 1 or 2 grades. If the wind breaks the head, it can't think of it. What kind of exercises can make people cultivate from one element to the peak of vitality in a month or so? Although there are quite a few accidents in the middle, Yi Yuan's exercises are very powerful, which is obvious. Yi Far nodded, and the wind went back to his place of residence to take the work. Soon after the wind went sunny, Tang Yu also came. Yi Shishong, congratulations on your success in the 9 days of the road, becoming the first person to succeed in the martial arts of the Danwu Academy for thousands of years. Tang Yu sincerely congratulated. It is only a matter of more than a month to know Yi Yuan clearly. Tang Yu has a feeling of being separated from the world. From Yi Shidi to Yi Shishong, Yi Yuan only spent more than a month. Yi Yuan, nowadays, is already the existence he needs to look up to. Yi Yuan did not alienate him because of Tang Yu's opening grades. He smiled and said, thank you, Tang Shang, I was forced to helpless, but I was lucky. Tang Yu also greeted Hu Yanyang, sitting on the side of Yi Yuan and said, I have come to congratulate the Yi brothers, but also bring some news. I think the Yi brothers will be interested. Oh, Tang brother, please say. Yi Yuan was also a curiosity by Tang Yu. Today, I also watched Yi Shishong's 9-day road in the crowd, but it happened to make me see Wan Yuan. He was not far from me. I knew that he and Yi's brother did not deal with it, so he left a snack. When Yi Shang broke through to the vitality in the second pass, Wan Yuan quietly withdrew from the crowd. I saw the situation quietly followed up, but found that he did not even return to the residence, directly out of the college. Tang Yu said. Chapter 108. A sword is stunned. Running. It's a daring guy. Yi Yuan heard a word. I am sorry that Yi Shishong, Tang Yu's strength is low, he can't stay with him, so he just watched him run away. Tang Yu said. Although it did not show up, Tang Yu now feels that he is too useless. There have been a lot of things happening in Yi Yuan, but he can't help. Now Wan Yuan is already an ant that can be crushed by a hand for Yi Yuan, but for him Tang Yu, it is as strong as a mountain. Tang Yu knows that Wan Yuan is the opposite of Yi Yuan, but he can only watch him run away, which makes him feel powerless and embarrassed. Yi Yuan waved his hand. Tang brother does not care, Wan Yuan is just a jumping clown. And let him live a few more days, when I return from the infinite forest, even his son has packed up. Returning from the boundless forest, my father Yi Heng is almost out. At that time, their father and son will join hands and will give the whole Qin a big surprise. Tang Yu was listening to the secret, and Yi Shishong was still so domineering. Qin Guo feared that no one would dare to say that Wan Donghai was packed up, but he said so. Yi Yuan is a master who refuses to suffer. He never believes in the creed that the gentleman revenge for 10 years. His creed is that the gentleman will not revenge overnight. Fei Qingping was so bad that he almost hanged and killed. Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng's green children became like this. Yi Yuan did not care about the rules of the hospital and still killed. Yi Yuan has never been able to pass through the 9 days of the road. This kind of life is enough pleasure. Tang Yu also wants such a life, but not everyone can live this life. Only Yi Yuan's existence against the sky is capable of living this life. Wan Yuan is obviously frightened by Yi Yuan, and will escape. Under such circumstances, Wan Yuan can rely on the rules of the court. However, for Yi Yuan, the yard rules are simply a display. Yi Yuan is now a madman. Since he dares to kill Zhang Heng and dare to kill Lin Tiancheng, he will not dare to kill him. Speaking of it, Wan Yuan and Yi Yuan's enemies are much more than Lin Tiancheng. Therefore, he ran away even if the final result did not wait. After Wan Yuan was afraid that the result came out, he could not run away. Yi Shishong, in fact, there is still one thing, I don't know if I can't talk about it. Tang Yu said again. What did Tang Shong see with me? There is nothing to say. I always think that Lin Tiancheng is a bit strange to the green girl. It is reasonable to say that Lin Tiancheng has only had a bit of grudge with you when he was in the magic tower. I don't want to be so arrogant. I wonder if this is another hidden matter. So I have been investigating this incident in the past 2 days, and the results really made me find out something. Tang Yu said. When Yi Yuan killed Zhang Heng and Lin Tiancheng, he did not think so much under the wrath. He only thought that Lin Tiancheng was resentful because of the things of the magic tower. Now think about it, although Lin Tiancheng lost his face outside the magic tower, but he did not end up indefinitely. However, Zhang Heng's actions have obviously exceeded the bottom line, which is somewhat unreasonable. Yi Yuan did not expect that there was another hidden feeling behind this incident. Tang brothers mean is, Wan Yuan. Yi Yuan quickly suspected Wan Yuan. Tang Yu nodded. Not bad. After seeing the end of the auditorium, Wan Yuan and Lu Ruishui found Lin Tiancheng. Of course, what they said at the time, there is no way to check. Don't check it, it must be their ghosts. The magic tower test I have conflicts with Lin Tiancheng, but every time I don't die. Lin Tian's cost is a narrow-minded person, they are provocative, naturally to me. It's no surprise that I hate it. It's not surprising that Yi Yuan's face has gradually sunk. However, what if Wan Yuan has already ran? Tang Yu asked. First, let him be. Now the most important thing is the green child. When I come back from the infinite forest, I will pick him up. However, this Lu Ruo water is a snake. If I think it is good, the whole green child's idea is her. Out. Yi Yuan's words are murderous. The most poisonous woman's heart, refers to her kind of woman. Tang Yudao. Yi Yuan stood up and said faintly, I am going to take a trip. Finished. Go straight out. Hu Yanyang looked at the back of Yi Yuan and said helplessly, this kid can't really stop for a moment. Tang Yu smiled bitterly. Yi Shishong is this sorrowful and savvy temper. Others are good to him. He is 10 times repayable. Others are not good to him, and he is 10 times more rewarding. Hey, it's noisy, he's been through the 9-day road, and it's already the same as the core disciple of the Shangzong. I don't want to come to Su Yubai. Hu Yanyang sighed. Yi Yuangong went out, but he was blocked by the door. The coming man was the martial dust of the original battle with Yi Yuan. Yi Shidi, You are really amazing, even surpassed the 9-day road with the spirit of the Yuan. When I saw Yi Yuan, Wu Luokan praised. It turned out to be a martial arts brother. The 9-day road is just a lucky one. It is nothing, Yi Yuan said with patience. Yi Yuan knows that Wu Dust is coming to find him, but how can he compare his thoughts in martial arts? Hey, I must have guessed the meaning of Wu Mo. Since Yi Shidi has passed the Judean road and broke through the peak of the vitality, there must be the strength of the heavenly students. I don't know if Yi Shidi can fulfill the original agreement, and I am more than a game. Wu Dust does not hide and squat, said directly. Sorry for the martial arts brother. The younger brother has something now. If the martial brother wants to compare it, please choose another day. Yi Yuan directly refused. When Wu Wuchen was in a hurry, he quickly said, how is that going? I know that you will definitely retreat to consolidate the realms soon. After 2 days, it is boundless trial. I don't know how long it will take. Today. Wu Dian Dust is full of hope. It seems that it is very difficult to itch. For people like Wu Luokan, fighting is all his life. Yi Yuan was helpless and had to say, Wu brother, if I remember correctly, what we agreed at the time was to wait for me to advance to the heavens level. But I am still a prefecture level student. The martial arts brother is so persecuted, is it a big bully? But Yi Shidi's fighting power is amazing. Although it is still the peak of Jucho, but the strength is definitely no longer the level of the students. With my observation, the strength of Yi Shidi now must be able to board the Wubang, and the ranking may not be under me. Wu Dust is not so fooled. Yi Yuan was anxious to find Lu Ruishui, but was stopped by Wu Dust. He was very annoyed and couldn't help but say, well, as long as the martial arts brothers pick me up in front of me, why not compare with you? Wu Dust's eyes lit up and he was pleasantly surprised, really. Nature is true. Remember, it is a hard front. If you dodge, I will not be accompanied. Yi Yuan stressed. Haha, no problem, come on. Wu fell to laughter. Yi Yuan took out the Kenghua sword from the storage ring, raising his hand as a fusion of swords. Wu Dust originally had a smile, but at this time it was a big change, and the horrible sword almost suffocated him. How can such a sword idea be hard? Wu Luokan quickly ran his body and escaped the sword. Chapter 109. Who is Su Yishan? Earlier, in the courtyard of Su Yishan, a student of Haoshan, Lu Ruishui looked at Su Yishan in front of him. Su brother, now the whole college can only save you, I beg you to save me. Even in the face of the family's ignorance, Lu Ruishui has never been so helpless. After Yi Yuan succeeded in passing the 9-day pass, Lu Ruishui felt that the whole person was not good. He went to Wan Yuan's residence and wanted to talk to him about the countermeasures. However, when she came to the residence of Wan Yuan, she found that Wan Yuan was not there at all. Lu Ruishui first thought that Wan Yuan was because something had not come back, but she did not wait until she left and waited, and went to ask other students, saying that they did not see Wan Yuan. Lu Ruishui's heart suddenly produced a bad feeling. Sure enough, Lu Ruishui inquired about the students who guarded the college, only to know that Wan Yuan had already left the college. Lu Ruishui greeted the 8 generations of Wan Yuan ancestors in his heart, but this did not help her at all. If Yi Yuan can't find Wan Yuan, put all the gas on her head, but it's over. After the smashing, Lu Ruishui felt deeply helpless. Yi Yuan's strength has been firmly established into the ranks of heavenly students. It's easy to kill her. Lu Ruishui has some appeals among the junior students, but the heavenly students. Lu Ruishui suddenly appeared in the light. Thinking of Su Yishan, she felt that she had caught the last life-saving straw. When Wan Yuan was injured, Su Yishan once said that he would kill Yi Yuan. It seems that the grudges between them are too small. More importantly, is the elder Su not the second son of Su Yishan? Although Lu Ruishui can't affect the students of the day, they have clearly inquired about their details. The relationship between Su Yubai and Su Yishan is not too many people in Danwu College, but there are always some people who know it. Thinking of this, Lu Ruishui did not hesitate and went straight to the back hill to find Su Yishan. Su Yishan looked at Lu Ruishui with some playfulness and said, Lu Shimei and Wanshidi are very close. How do you think of coming to me? Su Yishan did not say that it was okay. This said that Lu Ruishui's tears flowed out with the flood that opened the gate. Wan Yuan, the cowardly guy, has already ran. Hey, Brother Su, as long as you are willing to save me, let me do what I want. Lu Ruishui is also a true feeling at this time, crying that called a delicate and charming. Su Yishan's words are a glimpse. Wan Yuan ran. Where did you go? Lu Ruishui whispered. Where can I go? He must go back to find his son, Toshiba. Yi Yuan is already a vitality, killing him like a dog, who can keep him except his son? Quote. Su Yishan said with a smile. I didn't see it before. Wan Shidi didn't even plant it. A little Yi Yuan scared him like this. After that, Su Yishan looked at Lu Ruishui with tears and pear flowers, and tasted. You just said what you want to do. Lu Ruishui heard the words tremble, where can't hear the meaning of Su Yishan. But by this time, if she does not care about her, she will die. Lu Ruishui's heart was in the middle of the battle, and eventually he nodded. Her appearance is the curiosity of Su Yishan. When you look at you, is it really a virgin? Lu Ruishui heard a pretty red face to the ear, but still nodded again. Although Lu Ruishui is naturally charming, she is keeping her body because she knows that this is her greatest wealth. I didn't want to, but now I was forced by Yi Yuan and even offered it. With this in mind, Lu Ruishui's hatred towards Yi Yuan is deeper. Yi Yuan, one day, I want you not to die. Ha ha ha, good. Very good. Su Yishan laughed and turned into the house. Lu Ruishui's eyes flashed, and eventually he gritted his teeth and followed him. Wu Dust has escaped a sword from Yi Yuan, and he has some heart and soul. The sword was just terrible, and the front was hard to die. At the moment when Yi Yuan went out of the sword, Wu Dust suddenly felt a great sense of crisis. The instinct of countless battles tells him that this sword must not be hard-wired. So he first got up and got rid of the sword. Wu Dust seems to be awkward, but this does not mean that he is weak, but he is too weak. In fact, Wu Dust is a very difficult person. Even if he ranks higher than him, he is also very troublesome to see him. Wu Dust is a famous battle madman at Danwu College. It not only has amazing fighting power, but also has a fighting talent that is beyond ordinary people. The grasp of the battle is very accurate. He suffered a loss just now, and he promised that Yi Yuan had a hard front. Yi Yuan has just blended the sword meaning on the 9-day road. He is also a sword mandrel issued by the 8 shackles of Kangwahian. Wu Dust is even an Iron Man. It is enough for him to get on. Yi Yuan's sword only means that he has the strength to fight with Wu's Dust. It does not mean that he can overcome Wu Dust. Wu Dust is a double spirit, and the combat power is far superior to the same level. Those who are stronger than him are basically three-folded in the spirit of the liquid, which shows that his strength is strong. Although Yi Yuan has the strength of the more difficult battles, it is really hard to say what the results are. Yi Yuan's sword is stronger, and it's no good to touch the opponent. The martial arts dust that has just been robbed for the rest of his life has not only been depressed, but has become extremely excited. If the opponent is too weak, it will be meaningless. Before coming, Wu Dingchen still worried that it was a bit early, although he also knew that Yi Yuan's combat power was amazing, but he was a bit higher than Yi Yuan. However, now he completely dismissed this idea. With this sword alone, Yi Yuan already has the qualification to be his opponent. Hey, Yi Shidi, let's play one game. Your swordsmanship is so powerful, I really want to see it. Wu Wuchen swears without shame. Yi Yuan looked a stagnation, did not expect this guy to be so stalking, could not help but sink his face. War brother, I really have something to do today. If you are so stalker, I have to die with you. Seeing Yi Yuan really angry, Wu Dust could not help but spit out his tongue, his eyes turned, and said, Yi Shidi, can you see this? I will accompany you to work, let you send, and you will play with me. Just one game. Yi Yuan dropped the next sentence, with you, and he took care of himself. Wu Dust's, hey, smiled and followed. Yi Yuan ignored the suspicion of men and women and went straight into the residence of Lu Ruishui, but it was empty. At this time, Wu Luokan helped a lot. He inquired about the whereabouts of Lu Ruishui and said to Yi Yuan, Yi Shidi, I have already inquired clearly, Lu Shimei is going to Su Yishan. Yi Yuani. Who is Su Yishan? No, you don't even know who Su Yishan is. This time it was the turn of the dust. Why should I know who he is? Wait, is his surname Su? Is it also the Su family? Yi Yuan suddenly remembered something and asked Wu. Wu Luokan erected a thumbs up and praised. Yi Shidi is really smart. Su Yishan is the scorpion of Su Yubai. Moreover, he is still the 10th in Wubang. However, according to my estimation, Su Yishan may have had the impact of the top 5. The strength. Yi Shidi, or forget it. Chapter 110. Check it out. It can be seen that Wu Dust is not willing to provoke Su Yishan. Su Yishan is not only strong but also extremely rich in background. Not to mention the power of the Su family, the status of Su Yubai in Danwu College alone, and few people dare to provoke. Yi Yuan fainted and stunned Wu Dust. Afraid. If you are afraid, go back, I have not let you follow. This eye is not irritating to the dust. He raised his head. Who is afraid? Isn't it Su Yishan? When I am promoted to the spirit of the triple, I am looking for him. Hey, the spirit is also triple, after all, you are afraid. Yi Yuan continued to despise. Wu Rushan heard this and almost jumped up. Since he entered Danwu College, there is no word, fear, in the dictionary. He has been challenged all the way, and he has the status of today. Among these people, there are naturally some people with very different status. However, he will not be embarrassed when he is jealous. When are you afraid? The reason why he didn't want to provoke Su Yishan was because the time had not arrived. Su Yishan is already the triple peak of Lingye, and it is possible to break through to the second step of Lingye at any time. The first 11 of Wubang are more perverted than one, and Wu Dust is indeed very strong, but at this stage, which one is not strong? The more backward, the more difficult the level of fighting will be. The Wu Dust naturally does not want to provoke the top 10 students in Wubang. When the martial arts break through the spirit of the triple, he will count the list one by one. I still don't believe it today. Isn't it Su Yishan? I will accompany you. If he dares to shoot at you, I will take it down. Poor Wu Dust, so in the way of Yi Yuan's radical approach. As you are, you don't have to run away with your tail. After that, Yi Yuantu did not return. Wu Luokan chased one side at the back. Hey, you made it clear, who escaped with his tail. When did I become a deserter? The residence of the heaven-level students is separate from the students of other grades, and lives in the back hills like the trainees. Moreover, they are all independent and have a wide area and will not be disturbed by others. Yi Yuan came to the courtyard of Su Yishan and shouted, Lu Ruishui, give me out. This shouting Yi Yuan far enough to force Yuan Li, like a rolling thunder. This shouting does not matter, and immediately alerted many people. What happened? What happened? Look, isn't that Yi Yuan? Isn't he just getting through the 9-day road? How do you see it happen again? Haha, these days are really lively. Yi Yuan can be too noisy, so that the entire college is also boiling up. It is a wave of unrest. Hey, isn't that a martial dust? How did he get along with Yi Yuan? Who knows? This guy is also a madman, and the two madmen are coming together. What is Lu Ruishui? It sounds like a woman's name. How did she offend Yi Yuan? Oh, it seems like some impressions. It looks like a big beauty. The trough, even the big beauty is not let go. Yi Yuan is really mad. Hey, don't guess. Yi Yuan doesn't stop. It's true, but Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng are arrogant. If you are, you will kill them. Or look at Yi Yuan, how can you do it? Well, this Lu Ruishui is also one of the people who bully Yi Yuan's maid. Yi Yuan shouted Lu Ruishui in front of Su Yishan, don't you feel embarrassed? Yi Yuan has never been afraid of making things big, and the Tang dynasty dandy has to swallow his voice in a mortal country, which will make him feel uncomfortable. In the past, the experience of Yi Yuan has become a character that has a must. What is his master of the martial arts? What is the punishment of his elders? Directly crushed the past. It's okay to play now, but you have to be disgusted. After shouting, Yi Yuan held his hand and closed his eyes and stood there, waiting for Su Yishan to come out. After a while, Su Yishan's courtyard door, opened, and Su Yishan's face was blue. Yi Yuan, what kind of ghost are you doing? I dare to yell at my door. I really thought that no one has picked you up. Su Yishan was cold and cold. Let Lu Ruoshui come out. This thing has nothing to do with you. While playing, Yi Yuan said a word, and said something that made everyone stunned. Hey, Yi Yuan let him play at the door of Su Yishan. In the college, no one has ever dared to talk to Su Yishan. Yi Yuan is really domineering. However, if you think about it, you will be relieved. Yi Yuanlian and the elders of the Soviet Union are afraid to marry. What is Su Yishan? Su Yishan was so humiliated and angered. Let me go. I'm going to measure it today. How good is the genius of the 9-day road? Su Yishan was full of momentum and attacked Yi Yuan with the pressure of Mount Tai. However, at this time, Wu Dust's face stood in front of Yi Yuan with no expression, making Su Yishan's momentum a stagnation. Wu Dust, what do you mean? Su Yishan iron blue face. It doesn't mean anything. You don't want to move the leaves far, and the rest of me don't care. Wu Luokan still has no expression. In fact, Wu Dianshan is also very depressed now, and inexplicably caused the big trouble of Su Yishan. Wu Dust's thoughts are purely false, but he is by no means a fool. How can a fool become a master of Wubang? However, in order to be able to compare with Yi Yuan, Wu Wu cannot care so much. Of course, there are still a lot of comparisons with him in the college, but there is a feeling of Wu Dust, and he will get unexpected gains when he compares with Yi Yuan. This is purely an intuition. After seeing Yi Yuan's stunning sword, he had this instinct. Therefore, he was stalked to let Yi Yuan compare with him. Well, you are arrogant, can you know the consequences of being enemies with me? Wu Wuchen is jealous of Su Yishan, and Su Yishan is not afraid of martial arts Dust. Although he is a little higher than the Dust, the fighting talent of Wu Dust is very amazing. Really fight, even if he can win, it must be a tragic victory. I have never thought of being an enemy with you. You just don't move Yi Yuan, and the rest of me don't care. Wu Luo Dust face repeated without expression. This is actually nonsense. Yi Yuan is looking for a shackle. It must be placed against Su Yishan. Su Yishan does not move him. Is it waiting to be beaten? Su Yishan and the madman couldn't understand, and the lungs would be blown up. Hey, you look for Lu Ruoshui, what are you going to do with me? Su Yishan couldn't eat the dust, but had to retreat to the next level and talked about the truth. We have already inquired, Lu Ruoshui should be in your place at this time. You call her out, I have something to ask her. Yi Yuan faintly, as if he did not see the tit-for-tat of Su Yishan and Wu Dust. Jokes, you said that this is here. Su Yishan was extremely angry. Yi Yuan spread his hands and said, if you can't talk about it, then there is no way. I only have to go into the house to find out. You dare. Su Yishan is angry and cannot be stopped. Chapter 111 Take a walk with me. Su Yishan is the top genius of the top 10 in Wubang. If he was searched by Yi Yuan today, what other faces will he have in Danwu College? Yi Yuan's remarks are obviously a shame to Su Yishan. In the face of the anger of Su Yishan, Yi Yuan chose to ignore it. He took a step and went to the courtyard of Su Yishan. Court death. Su Yishan left the anger and took a shot at Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan, as if he didn't see it, went to the door. Boom. A fierce pair of palms. Su Yishan and Wu Luokan each retired a few steps, actually evenly divided. Wu Dust, you dare to shoot. Su Yishan is angry. Wu Dingchen put on a zombie face that has remained unchanged for a long time and said, I said it very clearly, as long as you don't shoot Yi Yuan. But if you shoot, I won't sit back and ignore it. You. Su Yishan was completely defeated by Wu Dust, this guy did not enter the oil. Yi Yuan did not go fast, but the pace has not stopped, and he will enter the yard when he sees it. At this moment, Su Yishan felt the humiliation that had never been seen before. He is the pride of the Su family. He is the pride of the Danwu Academy. When was he so humiliated? Yi Yuan actually dared to face the scenes of so many people, went in and searched his residence. The most hateful thing is that he still took him a little way. Yi Yuan, you give me a stop. Su Yishan said. Yi Yuan did not hear it and continued to move forward. Stand up. I called her out. Su Yishan collapsed and finally chose to compromise. Sure enough, he said that Yi Yuan finally stopped his footsteps and turned his head to look at Su Yishan, apparently waiting for Su Yishan to call people. Su Yishan now wants to kill, and Yi Yuan's move has already wiped his face off as garbage. Although Yi Yuan did not enter in the end, but since he promised to call Lu Ruoshui, he was equal to admit defeat. Yi Yuan is really a genius who has survived the 9-day road. He dared to sweep the face of Su Shan. Hey, Su Yishan usually has no madness. Today, someone has finally ruled him. It's really a relief. Yes, Su Yishan took advantage of his second son's power and did what he wanted in the heavenly district. Many people were afraid to speak out. Now they have a more horizontal, even the face of his second brother dare to sweep his face is not one or two things. It's just a person who is so arrogant, but he is willing to be a striker of Yi Yuan. It makes me very surprised. Is it difficult that he has been accepted as a younger brother by Yi Yuan? I don't see it. I am afraid that there is some kind of agreement between them. This agreement is very important for Wu Dust. He will be the one who risked defending Su Yishan. Haha, if you look at Su Yishan who wants to kill but can't kill it, it's really the first time I saw it. It's funny. However, Yi Yuan is cool today, but the next infinite trial, I am afraid it is not so good. Whether it is Su or Yi Yishan, I am afraid I will kill Yi Yuan at all costs. The students who came to watch were all heaven-level students. Many people whispered and even communicated. Through their dialogue, it can be seen that Su Yishan is obviously not very popular in the Tien-level area. Many people are watching the fun of gloating. For the face of a mountain sweeping, Yi Yuan has no burden at all. The Su family is the hidden opponent of Yi family, and he knows this well. Since Su Yubai can kill him in broad daylight, Su Yishan will not be able to become friends with him. Since Lu Ruoshui appeared in the residence of Su Yishan, it is obvious that he came to shelter him. Then between Yi Yuan and Su Yishan, it is naturally an enemy. For the enemy, Yi Yuan has never had the habit of leaving face to the other side. Su Yishan was so sinking at the moment that his mood was extremely irritating. How can he count it? Wu Wuchen is willing to be a striker of Yi Yuan. What are you still hiding inside? Give me out, Su Yishan said. At this point, Su Yishan regretted taking Lu Ruoshui, and suddenly he was so embarrassed that he brought such a big trouble to himself. As the shout of Su Yishan rang, the door showed a graceful figure. It was Lu Ruoshui. Lu Ruoshui's clothes are a bit sloppy, seemingly awkward, and the flowering is also very embarrassing. Where is the goddess of the past? She has been paying attention to the situation outside, knowing that today is afraid that she can't be good. I thought that when I found Su Yishan, I could escape from the mountain. So even my most precious things were given out. I don't think Su Yishan couldn't keep her. Su brother, Lu Ruoshui looked helpless at Su Yishan. Su Yishan looked gloomy, but still moved in front of her. This move made Lu Ruoshui ecstatic. Su Yishan will not let her leave. Naturally, the situation is already very clear. Lu Ruoshui is covered by his Su Yishan. If he is allowed to dispose of it, he will be thrown home today. Just now Yi Yuan was going to enter the yard. He couldn't block it, but now Wu Dingchen and Yi Yuan want to take people away from under his hand, but it is not so easy. And things have become too big, as long as he delays the effort of a small meeting, waiting for the arrival of Erbo Su Yubai, forgive Yi Yuan not dare to let go. If there is anything, ask. Su Yishan told Yi Yuan Dao. For Su Yishan's move, Yi Yuan didn't care. He nodded and said, Lu Ruoshui, I ask you, Lin Tiancheng's deception and Zhang Heng's bullying of Green, isn't you and Wan Yuan ignited? Lu Ruoshui was shocked by the words, and did not expect Yi Yuan to come for this matter. No wonder he came so fast. Lu Ruoshui thought, the heart of this matter has died. There is only 4 of them present. Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng are already dead. Wan Yuan ran. As long as she denied it, Yi Yuan could help her. Thinking of this, Lu Ruoshui said loudly, Yi Yuan, I know that we had some festivals at the beginning, but that is all the masters of Wan Yuan. You have to have a debt, you should go to him. Yi Yuan frowned. Less, I only ask you about Green. Lu Ruoshui thought it, but he was not so scared. He stood up and said with a strong heart, no, I don't know what you are talking about. I don't know anything about green, how can it harm her? Really, nature is true, Lu Ruoshui said more confident. Then how do you explain that on the day of the auditory tower, you and Wan Yuan have looked for Lin Tiancheng? Yi Yuan asked. Lin Tiancheng is the chief disciple of the chores, and Wan Yuan wants to make a difference with him. Is there any problem? Is it that you have offended Lin Tiancheng yourself, but you have to impose the crime on my head? What is the reason? Lu Ruoshui is also a thoughtful person. Once calmed down, he will be in army. Yi Yuan looked at Lu Ruoshui and suddenly laughed. He smiled and Lu Ruoshui's heart was cold. A good bite, so if you do, let me take a trip with me. I have a way to prove that what you said is true or false. If you are telling the truth, our previous grievances will be written off. If it is false, Yi Yuan does not kill women, you have squandered Dantian and left Danwu College. The previous things are also written off. Yi Yuan said faintly. Chapter 1122 Enemy Ones. I don't go. Go with you, can I still come back? Lu Ruoshui immediately refused. Under such circumstances, she will not go with Yi Yuan anyway. Regardless of whether Yi Yuan said it was true or not, Lu Ruoshui did not dare to take the risk. If Yi Yuan said it was true, this thing really has something to do with her. Lu Ruoshui, can she escape? If Yi Yuan said it was a fake, then he just wants to cheat himself, can he still get better? At this time, Yi Yuan did not care about Lu Ruoshui. It is not her decision to go. Su brother, don't know what you say. Yi Yuan looked at Su Yishan. That meaning is very obvious. If he agrees that everything is easy to say, if you do not agree, then play a game. Su Yishan certainly won't agree, so many people look at it. Yi Yuan, you should not be too much. You think that you are the elder of the criminal court, who will take away whoever to take away. Su Yishan Shen Shang. Of course, I am not an elder of the criminal court. If I am an elder of the criminal court, then it is the death of anyone who is sentenced to death. Yi Yuan smiled. Everyone understands this. Yi Yuan is a sneak attack on Su Yubai's public day. Hey, Yi Yuan, you are less here to refer to the mulberry. This incident I will sue the criminal court will check the water and stone, and you are fair. Su Yishan cold road. When he finished this, the onlookers immediately snorted. Who does not know that the criminal elder is his second son? Is this going to the criminal court, and is it fair? In this case, it is only talking with a fist. Yi Yuan does not talk nonsense much, raising his hand as a singular wave. Today, Yi Yuan is already the peak of Jucho, and the 8-wave end is a strong force. Su Yishan apparently did not think that Yi Yuan said that he would start by hand, but he fell behind his hand. However, he is not the top figure in the top 10 of Wubang. At this time, he does not retreat. It is also a palm, and Yi Yuan is in the same place. Second order intermediate martial arts, Prajna. Su Yishan's mouth flashed a sneer, as if he saw the end of Yi Yuan's severe vomiting. A small amount of vitality will dare to start in front of him, is not looking for death. The wave of the waves is so powerful that it is only the first order martial arts with incompleteness. It is also useful to deal with the one who deals with the spirit. Who is he? Su Yishan. The 3 peaks of the spirit liquid, and the top 10 figures of the top 10. Compared to the wave of the waves, the second order intermediate level of the power of the palm of the hand is even better. On Yuan Li, he is more powerful than Yi Yuan. From any angle, Yi Yuan is not in good condition. In the view of Su Yishan, Yi Yuan is looking for death. He is jealous of Wu Dust, but it is not Yi Yuan. Although Yi Yuan has been in the limelight recently, his strength is full and he is stronger than the first-time students. The spirit of the triple and the vitality of the 9 heavy is not at all a heavyweight. Boom! A fierce collision. Su Yishan is not moving, and Yi Yuan is going back to more than 10 steps. Su Yishan frowned, and he was very dissatisfied with the effect of this palm. The result was too much for his expectation. Although he was rushed to cope with it, he also gathered 70 to 80% of the Yuan Li, which was not able to resist. However, the current Yi Yuan, in addition to some of the disorder of Yuan Li, does not seem to have much problem. The triple liquid of the spirit liquid is a heavy weight, and it cannot be completely crushed. I have always heard how enchanting Yi Yuan is, and Su Yishan is still a bit scornful. Now I personally and Yi Yuan are right, only to know the extent to which Yi Yuan's enchanting has reached. No, Yi Yuan, he is fine. It's just like a palm. I just thought that Yi Yuan was too reckless. I didn't expect his strength to be so strong. Just with this one, he is afraid that he has already settled in Wubang. The difference is not far. Obviously, Yi Yuan's performance is also beyond everyone's expectations. You must know that there are many heavenly students watching here, and many of them are masters of Wubang. The power of the prajna is too clear, but it is the second-order intermediate martial arts, and I heard that Su Yishan has been cultivated to the rank of Dacheng, and the power is extraordinary. Yi Yuan and his right hand, it is intact. Yi Yuan's performance before is indeed enchanting, but how enchanting it can only show that his potential is unlimited, does not mean how high his strength. Before Yi Yuan's noisy, it's all in the realm. Even Lin Tiancheng is at most a half-hearted spirit. Lin Tiancheng's strength lies among the heavenly students, which is the most basic category. Even if Yi Yuan is now breaking through the vitality, in many people's eyes, he is only slightly stronger than the average heaven-level trainee. Now, the heavenly students present at the scene realized that Yi Yuan had the strength to discuss with them equally. Today's Yi Yuan, no longer a powerful rookie more than a month ago, he is the real Wubang strong. After calming down the power of the disorder, Yi Yuan also frowned. Hey, I don't need you here to watch the show. Yi Yuan is very dissatisfied with the performance of Wu Dust. He knows that Wu Dust is trying to use the hand of Su Yishan to test his strength, which makes him very unhappy. Ha, ha ha, it was too sudden, and I didn't respond. Wu Luokan hit a ha ha. In the face of Yi Yuan, Wu Dust was a zombie face that had been kept for a long time, accompanied by a smile, and Su Yishan was depressed again. Who said that Wu is stupid? He is fine. Yi Yuan turned a blind eye and was too lazy to care for him. He only said, I am going to go, you can do it yourself. Yi Yuan's words made everyone fall to the ground. Although he just retired, the gap with Su Yishan is very obvious. Obviously there is no chance of winning. Under such circumstances, is he still doing it? Yi Yuan flashed and flashed, pointing to Su Yishan. Absolute Yang. At this time, Yi Yuan showed his absolute Yang, and the power has surpassed the 8 waves. The practice of the King of Spirits is not a joke. Looking for death, Su Yishan is constantly changing, and the general palm is launched again. This time, Wu Dingchen is not a spectator. At the same time that Yi Yuan started, he also moved. Wu Luokan swept a leg to Su Yishan. Compared with Yi Yuan's attack, the attack of Wu Dust is obviously more threatening. Under the attack of the two, Su Yishan did not panic. Su Yishan's body martial arts is also a second-order martial art with real price, and the speed is even faster than the dust. It was the time difference of this half-finance. He first forced Yi Yuan to retreat, and he shunned the legs of Wu Dust. At this moment, the strength of the 10th of Su Yishan Wubang is vividly reflected. Soon, the 3 men became a group, and the 2 sides were actually fighting for a split, and no one could help. Of course, the main battle is still Su Yishan and Wu Dust, but Yi Yuan is trying to make soy sauce. Chapter 113 Shaving. For soy sauce, Yi Yuan is not unhappy. He knew that he was not an opponent of Su Yishan, so he deliberately dragged Wu Dust into the water. Su Yishan and Wu Luokan were in a fierce battle. He occasionally stirred up a game in the side, and immediately made Su Yishan a mess. This makes Su Yishan depressed and wants to vomit blood. Su Yishan is somewhat jealous of martial arts, but he is not the 10th through Su Yubai, and his strength is indeed very strong. He is confident that he will defeat each other within 100 rounds. However, there was a leaf far away and it made him a lot more stressed. Although Yi Yuan's attack is not a big threat to him, Yi Yuan's attack power is indeed strong enough. Even if he is Su Yishan, it's not so good to have a palm or a palm. However, this also confirms the strength of Su Yishan from the side. With 1 enemy and 2, it does not fall into the wind. The top 20 of Wubang is a group of metamorphosis. Su Yishan and Wu Luokan are much stronger than the last battle of Wubang. Yeah, the top 20 of the Wubang is a watershed. The difference between the 20 and 20 is too great. The top 20 students will change, but most of them are interchangeable. It's too hard to squeeze in after 10. Well, for such a long time, only Wu Dianshan can make such a metamorphosis into the top 20. I feel that he may become the next dragon brother. I also have this feeling, this guy is too abnormal. Not only does the realm improve faster, but the promotion of martial arts is also incredible. However, these two people are perverted again, and there is no leaf metamorphosis. This guy is not a human being at all. In exchange for any other vitality in this battle, it is the result of being killed by an instant. But Yi Yuan can not only protect himself, from time to time, it creates trouble for Su Yishan. Don't tell him, this guy is destined to be not a world with us. It is estimated that it will not be long before he will become the core disciple of Yu Yunzong. Lianlong brothers do not have this qualification. The top 20 battles in Wubang are not so easy to see. Many of the top-level students are commenting on their own, but the final goal is still placed on Yi Yuan. The strength of Yi Yuan is completely beyond their expectations. Many students have entered themselves into the war situation, but they have discovered that they cannot do so well. In other words, Yi Yuan is already stronger than most of them. There are about 400 or 500 students at Danwu College, and only the top 100 can enter Wubang and become a master of Wubang. These 100 are elites in the elite. Most people are exhausted like Lin Tiancheng and become a mediocre among the heavenly students. Obviously, Yi Yuan is much stronger than them. Even if it is the lower-ranked student on the list, Yi Yuan is also self-proclaimed. Just when everyone was feeling, the battle suddenly changed. Yi Yuan's hands don't know when there is a more green sword, and his whole person's momentum has changed a lot. At this moment, Yi Yuan is like a sword with a scabbard. Su Yishan and Wu Luokan were in a fierce battle, feeling that this momentum suddenly shocked. However, Yi Yuan did not give him much time to react, and a sword gas was cut over his head. The timing of this sword is very clever, and Su Yishan and Wu Dust are in the process of making a move, and the inertia of the body cannot be changed at all. He is entangled in martial arts and it is easy to get away from it. This sword made Su Yishan feel a guilty heart, and the horrible sword meaning can definitely penetrate his body and directly cut off his head. At the time of the crisis, Su Yishan still had to deal with the martial arts dust, forced to take the move in the middle of the road, so that 1,000 pounds fell short. The sword was so hot that he swept his head and flew out. I have to say that Su Yishan's reaction is fast. He's not only escaped the deadly sword of Yi Yuan, but also escaped the moves of Wu Dust. Even so, Su Yishan is also extremely embarrassing. Although he escaped the deadly sword of Yi Yuan, the sword still shattered his crown. At this time, Su Yishan's head is scattered like a cockroach. How can there be a master style? Spirit. It is definitely a spirit. Many students recognized the sword in Yi Yuan's hand and exclaimed, "Scorpio, how can there be a spirit in Yi Yuan's hand?" The entire Danwu Academy, in addition to the magic tower, there is only one instrument in the hands of the dean. Where is Yi Yuan's spirit? Yi Yuan's Kenghua sword came out and immediately caused a sensation. In the mortal country, the scarcity of the spirits has reached a level of despair. Throughout the Qin dynasty, the number of spirits will not exceed one hand. And in Yi Yuan's hands, there is actually a spirit. Surprised, almost all of the students' eyes were red. This is really enviable and hateful. You must know that if there is a spirit in the hands of the warrior, it will increase their combat power, especially the aggressive spirit like Kenghua sword. And the spirit, the power that can be exerted in Yi Yuan's hands, is simply less than 10%. Only the condensed crystal warriors can exert the true power of the spirit. If a condensed crystal warrior has a spirit in his hand, he will be able to sweep the same level. Now, a spiritual device is actually in the hands of a vitality, it is really violent. Yi Yuan ignored the surprise of others, but faintly said, "Now, can I take her away?" When he heard Yi Yuan's words, Lu Ruishui's body trembled. She did not think that Yi Yuan could even beat Su Yishan. Su Yishan, but the 10th in Wubang. Even Su Yishan can't shelter her, is she not dead? Ah, Yi Yuan, this is what you forced me. Su Yishan has been completely irritated, he must kill Yi Yuan at all costs. The next moment, Su Yishan had a horrible atmosphere. His arms were lifted slightly, his palms turned to the sky, and the khaki power was condensed in his palm. The horrible pressure is suffocating. This breath is, second-order top martial arts turn the palm. Yi Yuan, you have to be careful. Wu Dust face condensed. Yi Yuan is also very dignified. He did not expect Su Yishan to have such a card. This horrible breath alone has gone far beyond the strength of the spirit liquid triple. Second-order top martial arts, the power is extraordinary. Yi Yuan crossed the sword and stood with an unprecedented dignity on his face. Yi Yuan, I want you to know that it will cost me to pay for Su Yishan. Go to hell. Su Yishan has completely lost his mind at this time, and there is only one thing in his mind, that is to kill Yi Yuan. I saw him with a palm and a ray of earth. Next, it is a horror blow. One mountain, stop here. At this moment, a faint voice rang in the ears of Su Yishan. Chapter 114 None of your business. One mountain, stop here. This voice sounded, Su Yishan suddenly woke up. The momentum of the body is collected and dissipated invisible. Seeing Su Yishan's turning palm was stopped, Yi Yuan not only did not relax, but his face became more dignified. Those heavenly students automatically separated a road, and Su Yubai walked out of the crowd. Everyone is completely stunned, and it is Su Yubai who stopped Su Yishan. What happened? Isn't Su Yubai most hope that Yi Yuan will die? How is it changed? Su Yubai slowly came to the face of Yi Yuan. Su Yishan and Wu Luokan respectfully applied a ceremony, and shouted, Su Zheng Elder. Only Yi Yuan was indifferent. Hey, I don't know how to give a gift when I saw it. It really didn't be educated. Su Yubai saw Yi Yuan's look, and he didn't play a fight. Yi Yuan is just a faint saying. I passed the 9-day road, which is already the same as the core disciple of the Union sect. The core disciple of Yu Yunzong, on the status of the elders of the outer door, the gift of the ceremonial, should be the elders of the Soviet Union. The core disciples of Yu Yunzong are very different. They are all geniuses who are one of the best in the world. They are also the focus of the Zongmen. They have many privileges. The elders at the outer door, at best, only assist the administrator of the dean's management school. Even the sects of the sects are not counted. The status is not as high as the core disciples. Su Yubai heard a change in his face, and immediately said coldly, the Shangzong has not yet identified your identity. You are still a disciple of the Qin State Danwu Academy, and there is no shelf for the core disciples. Yi Yuan said with a grin, it's the elders who set up the elders with me. I have to show my identity. Su Yubai's sad discovery, he never took advantage of Yi Yuan's body, and had to open the topic, where is the spirit in your hand? So heavy, not even reported to the college, what is your heart? Su Yubai did not expect that there was a sword in Yi Yuan's hand. This really makes him look very red. Su Yubai's own life weapon is a top-grade weapon, which is also suitable for him. However, Su Yubai is already a half-step condensed crystal environment. If you use the spirit, it will definitely bring his strength to a higher level. Originally, he had no idea about the spirit, because the spirit was too rare. But at this time, Yi Yuan's hand actually appeared a kind of spirit, which made him unable to control his mind. A small vitality is 9 heavy, is it not a violent thing with the spirit? Yi Yuanchi can't know Su Yubai's careful thoughts. He only said faintly, you know that I had made a swearing oath before the 9-day road, so I can't tell you the origin of this sword. If the elder Su is not at ease, you can go to the ancestors to ask. This sword should have been famous, it is not difficult to find out. Shangzong. It is the top. That Shangzong is pressing me, right? Su Yubai's sad discovery, he really has no way. Since Yi Yuan dared to take this sword out, it is sure that there is no problem. Although Yi Yuan did not say anything, but it has also indicated the source of this sword, 9 days. From Judean Road, that would be easy. Since this sword comes from Judean Road, how can you do it for yourself? Judean Road belongs to Danwu College. Since you got the spirit on the 9-day road, you should turn it over to the college. Yi Yuanshao smiled and said, going to the college for disposal. Is it to be handed over to the elders of the Soviet Union? If you want to use the spirits, you can say, what do you do around so many bends? Su Yubai's cheeky power has obviously been cultivated to a very high level, and Yi Yuan's publicity has pierced his mind, but he is not embarrassed. This elder is dedicated to the public. You are going to be filthy. Your spirits are turned over to the college, and how to deal with nature is determined by the dean and the Presbyterian. This spirit is from the college. How can you do it for yourself? Quote, Su Yubai said that it is just right, but how many people believe it is not known? The elders of the elders are really moving, but, as far as I know, Judean Road does not seem to belong to the jurisdiction of the college. Even if it is to be handed in, it is also handed over to the sect, closing your ass. Yi Yuan said nothing. Passionate. You, looking for death. Su Yubai was angered by Yi Yuan, and he was going to start. Yi Yuan jumped up and shouted, Ah! Elder Su murders. Everyone wants to be a witness. Yi Yuan's screaming. Su Yubai's anger was instantly ruined. Yi Yuan's current identity is extraordinary. If he really killed Yi Yuan in public, his elders would be the last one. The crime of killing the core disciples is not something he can afford. He stopped Su Yishan, naturally for this reason. Unexpectedly, a few words said that he himself was brought in by Yi Yuan. Su Yubai suddenly discovered that this leaf is like a hedgehog, so that he has nowhere to go. Really wrong. It's really nonsense. When do I want to kill? Su Yubai said coldly. Do you dare say that you didn't kill the plane just now? Yi Yuan did not give in. Su Yubai was speechless, and once again opened the topic. This is not to say for the time being. I heard that you have to take the female student to interrogate. You are a private court, do you know? Private office. Then I ask you, what is the crime of offending the core disciples? You can say that my name is not yet true. Lu Ruishui does not have this qualification. Yi Yuan sneered. This, offensive core disciples, the heavy one can be sentenced to death. But as far as I know, she does not seem to offend you. Su Yubai said. How do you know that she is not offended, not that she is arguing? Yi Yuan asked. Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng have been killed by you. This is a deadly testimony. You will not decide her sin solely on your guess. Su Yubai sneered. I just said that I have her own way to let her say it. If she didn't participate in this matter, the grievance between me and her will be written off. If she feels dissatisfied, I can even apologize to her in public. It's a joke. Is there any way for her to tell her? Do you want to be a trick? Yi Yuan said faintly. As this kind of thing, I am afraid that the elders of the Soviet Union are not doing less. But, I am not as sultry as the elders of the Su, and I can't do this kind of madness. Su Yubai just succumbed to the anger, and at this time it was hooked up by Yi Yuan. This kid is really the Lord who is mad at death. Under the pressure of the anger in the heart, Su Yubai Shen Sheng said, This elder is a law enforcement, Danwu College who do not know. Now is to say you, what are you going around me? This way, okay, I know that Elder Su is ignorant. I don't know if I have ever heard of a kind of medicinal medicine, called Junyan Dan. Well, I don't know what you look like, let me explain to Su Chong. The truth is that Dan is the second-order medicinal medicine. If Lu Ruishui ate it, I would ask what she would answer, and naturally it would come out. Yi Yuan explained the truth of Dan, and also satirized a Su Yubai. Chapter 115 Refining Mandarin. It's just a matter of mouth. This elder has lived this age and has never heard of this kind of remedy. Although Su Yubai does not specialize in Dan Dao, but the Su family is operating the medicinal materials business, and it is absolutely unfamiliar to the medicinal herbs. He said that he had never heard of it. He changed it to another elder Dan, and he was afraid that he had never heard of it. It's just that he's saying that he's confessing to his own ignorance. All said that the elders of the Soviet Union are ignorant, how can you hear it? But it doesn't matter if you haven't heard it. Let's listen to it as a false vision. When I have a few refinings, I will not know if the elders try it for themselves. Really, at that time, I promised to ask the elders of the Su to go to bed in the room where they were last night. Yi Yuan laughed. Yi Yuan said this, causing everyone to burst into laughter. After being threatened by Su Yubai, he stopped the laughter. Yi Yuan's research on Dan Dao is very extensive, and all aspects are involved. Most of these Dan parties in the Qin dynasty are targeting martial arts, are helping the military to improve their strength, are helping the military to restore their strength, and so on. The immortality of the door-like Junyan Dan will naturally not be recorded. The warrior of Qin state is the highest but condensed, but it is only 300 years old. Even if it is a great master, how much leisure time does it take to study these remedies? However, as Yi Yuan said, it is very simple to distinguish the authenticity of the drug. The effect of medicine is not to be faked. So many people look at it, and the fake will be dismantled immediately. Unless the person who tested the drug was arranged by Yi Yuan, Su Yubai would naturally not make such a low-level mistake. Hey, flirty children, I have to look at it, how do you end up in a while? Su Yubai said coldly. In this way, Yi Yuan and Su Yubai decided the fate of Lu Ruoshui. When Lu Ruoshui heard Su Yubai's words, he rushed to Su Yishan's side and pulled his arm and asked, Su brother, I don't want to. Su Yishan took his arm and Lu Ruoshui suddenly fell to the ground. Was humiliated by Yi Yuan, Su Yishan is still on the fire. I feel that this woman is a good thing, where will sympathize with her? Do you think that at this time, you still have you? Su Yishan cold. In the alchemy room where the wind is clear, Yi Yuan and Feng Ruoqing completed the role exchange, and Feng Ruoqing made a series of preparations for Yi Yuanlian. Hey, I said that you can't stop for a while. This has just come out of the 9-day road, and it has caused the entire college to be ups and downs. The wind blew while doing things, while complaining. Yi Yuan is too noisy, and since his rise, it seems that the college has not stopped for a moment. Oh, I am not willing to stop, there are always people who can't stop. Green is my loved one. He is harmed like this. If I can't take revenge for her, how can I be her young master? After some time, she will wake up. Come, how do I face her? They want to move me, just as big as the light, even if I am crippled, I will not be so vengeful, but move my relatives and friends, absolutely not. I don't know why, after listening to Yi Yuan's words, if the wind is not clear, there is no tremor in the heart, and he blurted out, if I am killed like a green child, will you do the same? Of course, we are good friends, aren't we? Yi Yuan did not think about it. A sweet moment broke into the heart and spleen, so that the wind is clear and there is a kind of satisfaction that has never been seen before. But, I am afraid I have no such opportunity. You are the goddess of nature, the youngest senior Danshi of Danwu College, who dares to bully you? Yi Yuan added. If the wind is clear, I smiled and said, that may not be okay, maybe there is such a day, my day's petite needs your protection. Haha, can protect the wind teacher, I am afraid that all the men of the college are honored. Yi Yuan laughed. If the wind is sunny, the face is reddish, and the topic is opened. Yes, is there such a remedy for the true word Dan? Is it your teacher's teaching to you? Yi Yuan nodded. The truth is not really a deep remedy, it is only a kind of medicinal medicine that acts on the soul and let the spirit of the warrior give up the resistance. Since there is a medicinal herb that strengthens the soul, it is natural. There are mantras. If the wind is clear, it turned out to be like this. It seems that my vision is still too low. It turns out that thinking about the problem from another angle has such an effect. Yi Yuan smiled and said, this eagerness does not come, the teacher respects his realm as extremely high, the eyesight is that I am comparable. This simple truth, let me think that I can never think of it for a lifetime. And when he is in our realm it may not be able to understand this truth. The wind is clear, this is relieved. You are right, the realm has determined the horizon. It seems that my road is still very long. The preparation work is already done, and the alchemy is opened. Yi Yuan nodded and began to refine the truth. Compared with the assessment of Dan Shi, Yi Yuan is much stronger than Yuan Li or Soul. Today's Yi Yuan, refining the second-order medicinal herbs with yin and yang shunting will not be so hard. After an hour, Yi Yuan appeared again in front of Su Yubai, holding a bottle of Junyan Dan that had just been released. This is the true word Dan, or will the elders of Su personally try it? Yi Yuan laughed. Hey, the person who tried the drug is ready, see how you will end up. When Yi Yuan refines Dan, Su Yubai has already inquired about several Dan Dao masters. No one has ever heard of Junyan Dan. Even if Yi Yuan is a junior Dan, can it be stronger than the predecessors of the college? Therefore, Su Yubai has long been judged. Yi Yuan is trying to make a mystery, just to let Lu Rushui squat. Su Yubai is an old river, how can it be such a thing? At this time, there were more people onlookers. In addition to the trainees, many teachings also arrived at the scene. Even the elders, groups were all there, including 2 vice presidents. Yi Yuan, this school has been studying Dan Dao for 200 years. I have never heard of any truthful words. Are you really sure? Hu Changsheng is a great Dan teacher. He has the most say in this place. Even he has never heard of Junyan Dan. This has caused many people to have doubts about Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan did not feel malicious from Hu Changsheng, but it was a faint worry. He smiled and said, "Doctor." Hu is relieved. "If there is a problem with this drug, I will pick the head of the person to sue, I will see him to the kid. The head of the person has been interested for a long time. This kid must be fooling around, I can't be fooled." Su Yubai kept telling himself in his heart. Moreover, Yi Yuan dared to pick, he does not dare to accept it. Yi Yuan is now the identity of the core disciple of the Shangzong. If he does not know how to die, Su Yubai can't wash the Yellow River. Hu Changsheng heard a change in his face and calmly said, "What about nonsense? If there is a problem, the penalty is to be punished. How can it be said that life and death? It seems to be reprimanding, but the meaning of maintenance, anyone can hear it." Chapter 116 Test Drug. Oh, let's say no benefit, just try it. Yi Yuan's confidence is full, but it makes Su Yubai's heart beat for a while. However, he thought that even Hu Changsheng did not know this kind of medicinal medicine, and that the medicinal medicine was made by Yi Yuan. At this time, I am still dying, and I will see how you die. Su Yubai is already figuring out how to punish Yi Yuan. The death penalty is definitely not acceptable. The whipping can be considered. Everything is ready, and Lu Ruishui, who is in a hurry, is brought to the public. Su Yubai looked at Lu Ruishui indifferently and said, "Lu Ruishui, don't be afraid, even Houdin has never seen this kind of medicinal medicine. Do you think it can be true? As long as you can prove that this remedy is invalid, this elder not only will you be innocent, but you will also have to punish Yi Yuan. Do you understand?" Lu Ruishui is now in a mess, listening to Su Yubai's saying that it really enhances a lot of confidence. Yes, Dean Hu is a great Dan teacher. Even the remedy that he has never heard of is definitely made by Yi Yuan. Unfortunately, Lu Ruishui did not go with Yi Yuan to participate in the refining pharmacist assessment, otherwise she would not have such great confidence. If Wang Yuan is here, he must die and refuse to eat this kind of remedy. Just kidding, it is impossible to practice the yin and yang shunts that are extremely difficult to cultivate, and it is not strange to refine what kind of medicinal herbs. Lu Ruishui took a deep breath and looked at Yi Yuan with a grudge. He said, "I understand. Yi Yuan, you are so trapped in my unrighteousness, I am not finished with you. I will try it, you are called the mantra. Dan, is it true or not?" For the eyes of Lu Ruishui's grievances, Yi Yuan didn't care, just smiled. "I don't want to finish with me, I am afraid that you don't have that chance." After that, he turned to Su Yubai. "Elder Su, we are ugly in front. If I deceive everyone, I am willing to receive punishment, but if my medicine is effective, what should I do if I ask the truth?" Su Yubai did not hesitate. If Lu Ruishui really colluded with Lin Tiancheng to frame the same door, he was naturally disposed of in accordance with the regulations of the hospital, and she was abolished by her body and ousted from the courtyard. Yi Yuan heard and nodded. "In the face of so many people, I want to come to the elders of Su should not eat. Let's start." "Wait," Su Yubai stopped. What is the problem with Elder Su? This medicinal medicine is your refining. Who knows what kind of ghost you are licking? This process of testing the medicine, Yi Yuan, you have to avoid it." Su Yubai is obviously still not at ease. In case this medicinal medicine is fake, Yi Yuan has the means to display what means, and it is also possible to force Lu Ruishui to tell lies. Yi Yuan heard a word and immediately understood it. His face was full of playful smiles. The elders of Su are really cautious. Well, since the elders of Su are not worried about me, I ask myself, I am going out for a walk. After that, Yi Yuan threw the medicinal herbs to Su Yubai and threw them away. Su Yubai instinctively took the medicinal herbs and could not help but see. He did not expect Yi Yuan to be such a bachelor, and he left. However, he still did not trust, and gave Su Yishan a look, let him go out with Yi Yuan and stare at Yi Yuan. Well, Su Elder, Yi Yuan has already left, can you start? Hu Changsheng was impatient. Su Yubai's villain's heart made Hu Changsheng feel a little good, and he didn't have a big general. He was so wary of a junior. Hu Changsheng urged him, and Su Yubai felt that he was a little too careful. Yi Yuan's slick head is a little slippery, but it is obvious that there is no such thing as a small means in front of his face. However, careful to drive the ship for thousands of years, Su Yubai did not want to let go of a chance to suppress Yi Yuan. He did this in order to punish Yi Yuan and let him enter the infinite forest with injuries. And the real murder he arranged is in the boundless forest. Yi Yuan was killed in the infinite forest. Even if it was the Shangzong, there is nothing to say. Even if Hu Yanyang, Feng Ruoqing, they doubt themselves, what evidence? Su Yubai poured out a medicinal herb from the medicine bottle and handed it to Lu Ruoshui. Lu Ruoshui took over the medicinal herbs and his face changed a lot. Although she has already determined that this drug is definitely a fake, but when it comes to serving, it is inevitable to hesitate. Swallowing the medicinal herbs, all the forces will be mobilized to resist the erosion of the drug. Su Yubai said. Lu Ruoshui glanced at Su Yubai and closed his eyes and swallowed the drug. The entrance to the drug was instant, and Lu Ruoshui did not dare to neglect, and immediately mobilized all the forces to counter the potency. However, Lu Ruoshui's sad discovery found that she could not find any medicine. Her body is powerful, but she can't find the power of the drug. This does not blame Lu Ruoshui. If she has taken the soul of Dan, it is not so stunned. It is a pity that the medicinal herbs such as Yangling Dan are extremely rare. She has never eaten it. After a few moments, Lu Ruoshui suddenly felt the trepidation of the spirit. Lu Ruoshui's dark road is bad, but it's too late. Her consciousness is getting more and more blurred. Everyone is paying attention to the changes of Lu Ruoshui. Su Yubai saw that Lu Ruoshui's pupils gradually enlarged, his eyes became more and more stunned, and his heart suddenly burst into a bad feeling. No, it seems to be really working. There is still such a magical remedy, too powerful. It is terrible. How do I feel now? Yi Yuan is omnipotent. The truth is that Dan Lian who said that he has not heard of it. Where did he get it from Dan? Who knows? You see everything he does, which one is in line with common sense. The change of Lu Ruoshui caused a commotion, and obviously everyone saw that something was wrong. Many people think of Yi Yuanwei, who was sleeping in the room where he was sleeping. At that time, he was only listening to a joke, but now he could not help but feel a horrible thing. Everyone has their own secrets, and there are things that don't want to be known by others. But with this mantra, are these secrets spoken out casually? If you take the truth, isn't it like being thrown into the street? This feeling, no one wants to experience it. Elder Su, it seems that Mangan Dan has already worked, and I will start asking. Hu Changsheng said faintly. Although the words are calm, Hu Changsheng's inner shock is no worse than others. Su Yubai has not asked, but Hu Changsheng has basically been confirmed, this mantra is really effective. In the world, there is such a magical remedy. And this remedy is still only the second-order remedy. The expression on Su Yubai's face is very exciting, shocked, unbelievers, and unwilling. At this moment, Su Yubai's idea of eradicating Yi Yuan is unprecedentedly firm. The threat of Yi Yuan in the heart of Su Yubai has far surpassed Yi Hang. If you give Yi Yuan a few more years, no, even for a year, the Su family will usher in an unprecedented crisis. Must not let him out of the infinite forest. Chapter 117 You Don T say how do I know? Lu Ruoshui's eyes are empty and seemingly empty, as if a walking dead. Su Yubai took a deep breath and asked. Lu Ruoshui, I will ask you, Yi Yuan said that you have provoked Lin Tiancheng to frame his maid green child, can you have this? When I heard Su Yubai's question, Lu Ruoshui seemed to have some reaction, but the reaction was somewhat sluggish. For a long while, Lu Ruoshui said, yes. Su Yubai's face was so heavy that he continued to ask, why are you dealing with Yi Yuan's maid? Because, I almost killed him, I am afraid that he will retaliate against me in the future, so, I will do everything possible to deal with him. Lin Tiancheng's strength is said to be the strongest in the land. He has always hated Yi Yuan, and I provoked him to start with Yi Yuan's maid. Yi Yuan will definitely look for Lin Tiancheng. By then, Lin Tiancheng's hand will be used to deal with Yi Yuan. Lu Ruishui's bamboo tube dumped everything and explained everything. Su Yubai's face is getting more and more ugly, although he guessed that the result was like this, but Lu Ruishui personally said it, still let him feel blocked. He couldn't think of it. There are such magical drugs in the world that people can say what they hide in their hearts. If his Su family can master this kind of remedy, the strength will increase greatly. Lu Ruishui admitted that the students had whispered. It really is her. This woman is really a snake, and actually started with a little girl who didn't know each other. Looking at her so beautiful, it turned out to be a femme fatale. A woman who was so vicious should kill directly. I heard that Yi Yuan's maid passed the entry assessment and has officially become a disciple of the college. This woman is so poisonous to the same door, it is abhorrent. The students were excited about the situation at one time and hated Lu Ruishui's actions. Even if Yi Yuan and Lu Ruishui have a holiday, but the green child is innocent. A little girl's family, now dying of Lu Ruo's serious injury, has suffered from innocent disasters. Well, the truth has already come out. Let's call Yi Yuan back. At this time, Hu Changsheng said. After a while, Yi Yuan was called back. When he saw the expression of Su Yubai, he knew what the result was. Elder Su, I don't know what I have asked just now. Can Yan Dan have a role? Although he knows the result, Yi Yuan does not want to let go of the opportunity to make Su Yubai embarrassed. Hey, you don't already know. What are you asking? Su Yubai didn't have a good air. He does not believe that Yi Yuan can't see anything. Ah, I know what. You say it. You don't say how do I know. Yi Yuan looked innocent. Su Yubai was again angered by Yi Yuan. What do I want? What did Lu Ruishui say? You say it. Su Yubai looked at Yi Yuan and couldn't wait to slap him. Yi Yuanming knows the result, but he wants him to say it himself. Isn't that letting him slap himself? Su Yubai does not care about Lu Ruishui's life and death, but he cares about his face and prestige. The criminal court is the most prestigious, but his great elder is swept away by Yi Yuan. How can he punish the students in the future? Su Yubai now regrets finding so many things. She knew that it would be a good idea to directly abolish Lu Ruishui. What is it for? He now feels that he is just getting together to let Yi Yuan face, and Yi Yuan's slap is extremely loud. Lu Ruishui, she said, Su Yubai, she said, several times and did not say it. Oh, my elder Su, you are going to die for me. What did she say? Yi Yuan's very anxious expression provoked everyone to snicker. If you dare to lose the face of the elders, Yi Yuan is really the only one of Danwu College. Su Yubai has always been known for his cold-blooded ruthlessness. He is very heavy at Danwu College. No matter who made it to him, he wouldn't be good at the end, so he got the nickname of Su Shi Wang in the college. Of course, no one has ever dared to call this nickname in person. Now, Yi Yuan actually wiped out the face of Su Shi Wang, which makes many people feel very refreshed. It's a bad evil. Well, Yi Yuan, Lu Ruishui has admitted to frame you and your maid. Su Chong, according to the rules of the hospital. Zhang Songtao, the vice president who has been silent, could not stand it, and had to stand up and play round. Oh, it turned out to be like this, scared me, I thought the mantra was useless. Su, you said earlier, you don't say how do I know. Yi Yuan's deputy got a cheap and sold scorpion, so that Su Yubai hated his teeth and it was impossible to take him. At this time, it seems that the utility of the Dan dialect has passed, and Lu Ruishui's eyes show some radiance. Lu Ruishui found that the atmosphere seemed to be a little bit right, and suddenly remembered the feeling of trepidation after taking the medicinal herbs, and suddenly felt bad. Su, Elder Su, I. At this time, Su Yubai was full of anger and nowhere to vent. Lu Ruishui's speech immediately ignited his anger. Su Yubai's old face sank, and sighed. Lu Ruishui, you colluded with Lin Tiancheng to frame the same door, causing the same door to be seriously injured. According to the rules of the hospital, you are abolished and repaired, and immediately quit the gate. Are you doing it yourself, or am I coming? Quote. Lu Ruishui heard a lot of changes in his face, and he squatted down, holding Su Yubai's legs and begged, "Forgiveness. Elder Su, forgive me. Look at me and Su Shi brother." Lu Ruishui did not say that Su Yishan was okay. When he mentioned Su Yishan, Su Yubai was even more angry. Where she could still speak, she kicked her directly at her dantian and kicked her out. Ah! Lu Ruishui screamed and flew out. Su Yubai is a master of half-step condensed crystal environment. At this time, he is angry with his feet. Although he has not used all his strength, what is it that Lu Ruishui can bear? Only this foot. Lu Ruishui's hard-working cultivation of the power completely dissipated, became a waste person. Hey! Lu Ruishui spewed out a blood, and dipped his clothes into a bright red color, which looked so cool. Hey! When you framed the same door, you should be prepared for this end of the day. Now Yi Yuan's maid is seriously injured and dying, just abolishing your cultivation and escaping the door wall. It is already light. If you don't know how to be good, if you chase a bite, it is not so simple to evict the door wall. Su Yubai came to Lu Ruishui and warned. Lu Ruishui felt that Dantian was empty and knew that he had become a waste. At this time, I heard Su Yubai's threatening words. She laughed wildly. Ha ha ha, your Su family really didn't have a good thing. Su Yubai, you have the ability to kill me. You don't let me say, I'm partial to say. Su Yishan wanted my body and said that I want to protect me. As a result, I can't beat Yi Yuan. You have the right to be powerful, but take me as abandon. Su Yubai, I just don't let you go. Ha ha. Su Yishan also came back at this time. After listening to Lu Ruishui's words, a face sank out of water. Chapter 118 Su Yubai's Murder. Lu Ruishui was mad, and was forced to send out the college by Su Yubai. When Lu Ruishui came out of the courtyard, he became a wandering soul, and he did not know what to expect. She used to be smug, thinking that she could get ahead of her head. She used to be charming and sought after. Now, her Lu Ruishui is just a waste person, a walking dead, and even the passers-by are too lazy to look at her. One day later, the assassin who followed her all day gave her a knife in the back, which turned out to be a glamorous girl. In fact, many people have guessed this ending, but no one has paid attention to Lu Ruishui. Lu Ruishui's end now. She is self-sufficient, who will go to sympathize with a snake-hearted woman. After this incident, Yi Yuan, after reading the jade slips brought by Feng Ruaoqing, imprinted a jade slip to the wind. Feng Ruaoqing was originally worried that it would take time to go to the Tibetan classics to choose a method. Who knows that Yi Yuan has thrown her a trick? She used the knowledge of God to sweep through the practice that Yi Yuan had handed over to her, and she could not help but be shocked. This method is simply tailor-made for the wind. The difference is that this method is a very masculine method. This makes the wind sigh again and again, sighs the power of Yi Yuanshi. After finishing the embarrassing thing, Yi Yuan went straight to retreat and never heard about the affairs in the college. As for the matter of martial arts, the two sides once again agreed to put it after the infinite trial. Wu Dust also saw it. Although Yi Yuan's strength is far superior to the same level, it is a big realm with him. Now it's too early to compete, so he gave up. With Yi Yuan's retreat, the college seems to have returned to the calm of the past. However, on the third day after Yi Yuan's retreat, another thing made the entire Danwu Academy boil again. After Yi Yuan, the first dragon in Wubang, challenged the 9-day road. The 9-day road is so fierce that no one dares to challenge for years or even decades. Now, within 2 days, there are actually 2 trainees who have challenged Judian Road one after another. This is really a big news. Although Longtang is the first in the list, he still has few people who are optimistic about the 9-day road. 9 days road is too difficult. If the dragon jacket is well prepared, it will not wait until today to come to Shaoguan. Therefore, most people believe that the reason why Longtang came to Zhoujin Road was stimulated by Yi Yuan. There is no doubt that Wubang masters are extremely proud, not to mention the Longtang standing at the top of the list. A formerly unknown student has passed through Judian Road. Longtang is the first in the list. Is it not being compared? You must know that although the first place in Wubang is called a genius, it is too far worse than Yi Yuan, who has crossed the road of 9 days. Only after 9 days of road can you prove that his genius is not lost to Yi Yuan. This is a gamble. The gambling lost, the dragon hull cannot keep up. Under such circumstances, many students naturally feel that Longtang's chest is not broad enough and there is no such thing as Wubang's first style. In fact, in the hearts of many students, Yi Yuan's talent has already surpassed Longtang, and is the first in the well-deserved college. However, Longtang himself could not accept this fact and used his life to gamble on this reputation. Not worth it, not atmospheric. Only the left does not know the idea of Longtang, although he does not understand very well, but it is not a matter of anger. On the contrary, Longtang is now calmer than ever. Calm down to make the left do not return to feel the depth of his face. Only a few days have not seen, Longtang has produced such a big change. Can it be said that he really realized? Old dragon, really want to go? At the foot of Zhu Tianfeng, Zhuo Weigi and Longtang stand side by side. Nature. Longtang faintly said, "Oh, I know I can't persuade you, so I don't persuade you. I wish you success." "Well, I will succeed." Longtang is always so calm, as if only to explain a fact. Zhuo Weigi and Longtang have been so long time opponents, knowing that he has never been an arrogant person, but where does he come from? Just because Yi Yuanjun passed, Longtang will not be so superficial. Longtang came to the stone tablet and issued a pledge of heaven, resolutely embarked on the 9-day road. Su Yubai looked at Su Yishan with a gloomy look at the residence of the great elders of Haoshan. One Mountain, you are the future owner of the Su family. How can you do things so insignificantly? You have disappointed me this time. Su Yubai reprimanded mercilessly. Su Yishan was sweating and said, "Second, I am wrong." "Do you know where you are wrong? I shouldn't provoke this crazy woman." Speaking of Lu Ruoshui, Su Yishan is also hating teeth. This woman is a messy thing, and it has brought him a lot of trouble. You are wrong. A woman only. In your status, what kind of woman do you want? You are not wrong to provoke this woman, but to provoke Yi Yuan. You know that this woman came to you to escape Yi Yuan, you actually still take her in. It is no problem to take her in, you are actually an enemy for her beauty and Yi Yuan. Su Yubai spoke like a bead, said very quickly. Su Yishan bites his teeth. A leaf is far away, who knows that he can let Wu Luokan sell his life for him? Otherwise, kill him. If it is not for me to arrive in time, even if you kill Yi Yuan, you can't escape yourself. Although the Shangzong has not come to Yi Yuan, his identity is unchangeable. Killing the core disciples of the Shangzong, have you considered the consequences? You are the next owner of the Su family, how can you do things without the brain? Su Yubai grabbed a white. Su Yishan was a spirit, he was on the fire, where to consider so much? Now think about it, it's really a little scary. Seeing Su Yishan's appearance, Su Yubai said coldly, "I understand now." Su Yishan took a deep breath and nodded. Thanks to the second aunt, the baby understands. Do you understand what? Killing Yi Yuan must be killed by a blow, otherwise the snake will not die and suffer. Since I can't kill him in the college, I shouldn't take the initiative to provoke him. The result is a sigh. Erbo, the baby is still a little smashed. His growth rate is too fast. Although I don't want to admit it, Su Yishan has already acknowledged the power of Yi Yuan. The anger on Su Yubai's face finally dissipated, replaced by the color of satisfaction. Yes, you are a Su family leader. It is not a problem to think about how to play a woman. But one thing, don't let a woman miss a big event. Why should I kill Yi Yuan in public? It is because I saw his future threat. No success, but it is just an accident. Since things can't be done, then don't do it for a while. Let's take such a good opportunity to try it out, why not use it? Infinite trial is our best chance and the last chance. Therefore, Yi Yuan must die in the infinite forest. Chapter 119 Prepare for Trial. If it was Yi Yuanzhang's 9-day road, I had full confidence to kill him. But now Yi Yuan, although the enemy is not me, but I want to kill him is not big. Su Yishan frowned. Su Yishan and Yi Yuan have handed over their hands and estimated that his strength is about 50 in Wubang. This strength will naturally not be in his eyes, but if Yi Yuan is bent on losing his heart, he really does not know how to leave Yi Yuan. After all, Yi Yuan will not stand there stupidly waiting for his turn. Su Yubai found a medicine bottle from the body and handed it to Su Yishan. The bottle contains Ling Yuan Dan. After you take it, you will fight for the 4 spirits in the past 2 days. When you get to the spirit liquid, kill should he not be difficult. Su Yishan was in front of his eyes and quickly took over the drug. For the genius of the top 10 in Wubang, Ling Yuan Dan's temptation is huge. This point is seen from the left bet and Longtang's bet. After reaching the spiritual environment, the difficulty of breaking through the realm will increase greatly. With Ling Yuan Dan, it saves too much time to practice. Some people in the small realm level, 1 card is half a year, and then want to catch up with other people, but it is not so easy. Longtang has been getting Ling Yuan Dan for some time, but he has not taken it, and he can see that he also attaches importance to Ling Yuan Dan. Su Yishan is full of confidence. It's not difficult, of course not difficult. As long as I break through the 4 spirits, killing Yi Yuan is only a matter of minutes. Su Yubai nodded and apparently did not feel overstated about this statement. Su Yishan is the best seedling of the Su family, otherwise it will not be so focused. Breaking through the 4 spirits, Su Yishan's combat power can definitely break into the top 5. The top 5 students in Wubang, only 1 person in Longtang is a triple spirit, and the others are all 4. Su Yishan enjoys more resources than other people. If he can't even enter the top 5, then he is not a bad master. In the top 5 of Wubang, it is not difficult to get Yi Yuan. I have let you send the Chong brothers, and cooperate with you to kill Yi Yuan. They have lurked into the infinite forest at this time, and when the infinite trial begins, they will stare at Yi Yuan. When you go to contact them, let's discuss a strategy that is perfect. It is necessary to kill Yi Yuan. Remember, if you don't move, you will kill. You can't give Yi Yuan a little gasping. Do you understand? Su Yubai Shen Shen. This is not a negotiation, but an order. He knows that Su Yishan has some young masters and may not bother with those offerings. But no matter what, the goal of killing Yi Yuan is the most important thing. Others are irrelevant, including the pride of his Su Yishan. Longtang rushed out of a sea of fire, and it looked awkward. But looking at his eyes, at this time it is the light that can't be said. It turns out that this is the 9-day road. Although it is dangerous, it is also an endless treasure. Longtang said with emotion. Longtang is no better than Yi Yuan. The artistic concept of the first stage is not to be elegant in Yi Yuan. However, for Longtang, these mood levels are very dangerous. In addition to being sinister, it was caught by Longtang and he was rewarded with a lot of things. Longtang did not continue to squat, but meditated in situ to comprehend what he had just harvested. The strength of Longtang lies in his understanding. Otherwise, he is only a 3-pronged spirit. Why can he sit on the top position of Wubang? Among the top 5, only 1 dragon is a 3-person spirit, and his combat power can be seen. You must know that there is a small difference between the 3 spirits and the 4 spirits. So on the 9-day road, he can also comprehend something that others can't understand. Only in this way, his speed has become extremely slow, and it is in stark contrast with Yi Yuan's Shaoguan. 2 days passed and Longtang was able to survive the first phase. No, dragon brother, isn't this a swollen face and a fat man? It's so difficult for the first level, what should he do with the back level? Oh, this is no way. If I am the first in the list, I am so challenged by Yi Yuan, I might come to Jutian Road. Take it down. I look at the way of the dragon brother, it is difficult to get down from above. After all, not everyone as Yi Yuan can create such a miracle. Well, I think it is also hanging. Although the dragon brother is powerful, everyone agrees that his enchanting degree is not as good as Mo Yuntian. If the dragon brother is sure to challenge the 9-day road, he has already come, why wait until today? Oh, forget it, let's go. After 2 days, it is boundless trials. With the speed of the dragon brother, it is estimated that it will not catch up. With the proximity of the boundless trials, many students have dispersed from Judean Road. For a time, the foot of Zhu Tianfeng became cold. One day later, Yi Yuan went out. Another day, the boundless trial is about to begin, and he has to prepare something into the infinite forest. Yi Yuan knows that this is definitely very dangerous. He has already seen Su Yubai and Su Yishan, and they dare not do anything in the college. They will not let the opportunity of infinite trials. However, Yi Yuan's boundless forest is imperative. For the green child, he has to take this risk. Yi Yuan is preparing to refine the green medicine called Yuanyang Dan, which is the second-order medicine of the ***** domain. This kind of medicinal medicine is extremely difficult to refine, and the required medicinal materials are also extremely demanding. There are three main materials of Yuanyang Dan, which are extremely rare medicinal materials, and only the endangered forests are dangerous and rich in natural resources. Yi Yuan just knows where the main medicine is, and the main medicine is the inner stream of colorful clouds. It was also Yi Yuan who left his heart and gave the Brahmi a cure for the colorful smog. When he asked about the haunting of the colorful clouds, he did not expect it to come true now. It is accidental, but it is inevitable. Yi Yuan's life was obsessed with Dan Dao, and he was naturally very interested in some rare medicines, and this good habit continued to the present. The colorful stream cloud has the blood of the beast, and the inner Dan is the thing of the yang to the gang, just restraining the cold poison in the green body. The other two main ingredients are also the sun, a red soul grass, a pine fruit. Although these two things are hard to find, they are not traceable to Yi Yuan. Through Hu Yanyang, Yi Yuan has roughly figured out where these two herbs may appear. As a teaching of the college, Hu Yanyang is very familiar with the nature of the infinite forest. Yi Yuan is familiar with the habits of the growth of these two herbs, and it is not difficult to find them. However, the colorful stream cloud is powerful, but it is the second-order midterm monster, which is equivalent to the second step of the human spirit liquid environment. This is also very difficult for Yi Yuan. However, Yi Yuan has a mission to the infinite forest, that is to break through the spiritual environment. Chapter 120 Who protects who? Yuanyang Dan is extremely difficult to refine, and Yi Hang is sure that refining will not come out. Therefore, if you don't break through the spiritual environment, Yi Yuan will find these herbs, and it is not useful for green. However, breaking through the spiritual environment may be very difficult for others, but for Yi Yuan, this dandy, it is a minute. After 2 days of retreat, Yi Yuan's realm has not been fully consolidated, otherwise he can break through the spiritual environment now. His progress from the 4 elements of the vitality to the peak of the vitality is too fast. Although it is because the comprehension of the mind is like stopping the water, it has completely eliminated the hidden dangers caused by the rapid rise of the realm. However, if it is not consolidated, it will affect the future practice. Yi Yuan did not dare to care about this. To say that the best way to consolidate the realm is undoubtedly fighting. The most indispensable part of the infinite forest is the monster. Yi Yuan can fight while strengthening the realm. One of the preparations that Yi Yuan is going to do now is to refine a first-class immortality called Chong Ling Dan. This kind of remedy can increase the chance of impacting the liquid environment. If it is a super product, it can increase the success rate by 100%. With Yi Yuan's current strength, refining the rushing spirit, the super product is no exception. And others need to have a half-step spirit as a buffer for the impact of the liquid environment. Yi Yuan does not have this necessary. Yi Yuan has had experience in impacting the environment, and compressing Yuan Li is a very simple matter for him, so there is no need to be as thin as others. In the alchemy room where the wind was clear, I spent a whole night. Yi Yuan finally got everything done. Out of the alchemy room, Yi Yuan saw the wind and the wind and the wind, but did not see the image of Hu Yanyang. Feng Ruaoking's face is full of deep worry, which makes Yi Yuan very curious. Wind teacher, what happened? Hu Yan teacher was temporarily transferred by the college and went to the Qin state to work in a small town. Feng Ruaoking said. Yi Yuan understood it in an instant and smiled, as the wind teacher also transferred. If the wind is clear, I can't help but admire Yi Yuan's mental agility, nodded. Tomorrow, there are a group of students to participate in the refining pharmacist assessment. This time I will lead the team. In fact, Yan teacher is prepared to enter the infinite forest to protect you. Quote, hey, it's a good move to adjust the tiger away from the mountain. However, if you want my life, Yi Yuan, they have to have this ability. Yi Yuan is not afraid, but eager to try. If the wind is clear, I can't help but worry. Yi Yuan, I know that you are very powerful, but you are too low in the realm. Otherwise, you still give up this trip to the infinite forest. You have passed the 9-day road, even if not for infinite trials, they don't dare to treat you. Yi Yuan shook his head and said, no, I can afford it, I can't afford the green child's condition. Help her suppress the cold poison. It can only support a month at most. At that time, my teacher will come in person. Can't save her. Don't worry, a Suyi mountain, I still don't look at it. At this time, the wind is a look of disdain. Look at the appearance of no one in your eyes, sooner or later you have to suffer a big loss. You still don't know. Just yesterday, Su Yishan has successfully broken through to the spirit of the four. Now, even if I am against him, I don't know how to get it. Yi Yuan has long been accustomed to the style of the popular style, and does not mind her cynicism. The spirit is for heavy. Hee, it is a bit tricky. Yi Yuan touched his chin and frowned. Hey, do you know that you are afraid? I advise you to stay in the college honestly, otherwise you will not know how to lose your life. Yi Yuan looked at the wind, and suddenly Yan Yan smiled and said, the anti-water law is already practicing. The entry is not bad. The Wind Sister is really a capital of the day. I want to have a Wind Sister to protect me. This line should not be a problem. Being said by Yi Yuan, the wind is pretty and red, and he said, who wants to protect you? You are a big man who wants women to protect, shameless. Please, I am a big man, not a fake, but I am also your younger brother. Is it not a matter of course to protect your younger brother? And you are the third in Wubang, you don't protect me, do you want me to protect you? The wind is still arguing, but it was interrupted by the wind. Oh, this time the infinite trials and the teachers of Huyan have been transferred, and now you can protect Yi Yuan only. Even if Su Yishan breaks through to the spirit of the four, most of them are not your opponent. Speaking of it, you are also subject to the great grace of Yi Yuan, it should be a little rewarded. After that, the wind turned clear and turned to Yi Yuan Dao. Hey, this girl's face is thin, I am embarrassed to say thank you, I will tell her on behalf of it. The law against the water is like a tailor-made in general, she did not practice day and night in the past 2 days, saying that the symptoms on her body have also eased a lot. If the wind is clear, the popular face becomes a cute red apple, beautiful and moving. Who wants to thank him? Hey, after that, the wind fled and disappeared. This girl, I really don't know what to say about her. The wind sighed. Haha, the Wind Sister is a true temperament, just a bit of a bad, let her go. Yi Yuan laughed. If the wind is clear, I don't know which ribs are wrong. I suddenly asked. Yi Yuan, I don't know what you think. Ah, very good. Well, isn't the wind teacher talking about the media? Yi Yuan suddenly reacted and asked. If the wind is sunny, it is also a pretty face. In fact, I think you are quite good with you. I don't know why, when the wind is clear, when I say this, my heart has not been lost for a while, and the empty space seems to have lost something. Yi Yuan hit a ha-ha and smiled. Isn't the wind teacher's own things done? I just thought about finding a prince for the prostitute. The wind blew and panicked, and blurted out. I have been so fascinated in my life, I don't want to waste time on it. After that, if the wind is fine, I will regret it. She has broken her own path. Yi Yuan smiled and said, the wind teacher should not mess with the score, this work is not for you, haha. If the wind is clear and it is a blush, it is no longer speech. Yi Yuan is not a good intention to reject the wind. For the search for the Taoist, Yi Yuan did not really think about it. He is deeply enemies of blood and sea, and the road ahead will be very rough. When his Taoist companion is not so easy, he will die in a careless manner. When is Yi Yuanjun not more painful? Just when the two were silent, the entire college seemed to be commotion. Yi Yuan couldn't help but look up, but saw a colorful road on Ju Tianfeng pouring down. After a few days, Qinghong Road reappears.